Hello everyone, this is part 2 of Escape from Southmaw, our Flesh and Blood D&D session. If this is the first video you're watching, go back and watch number 1.
Yes.
It's up to you, but I recommend watching part 1, where we introduce
It will
our
make a
characters.
lot more sense.
It will make a lot more sense.
Will do, yeah.
We introduced our characters. So just for a quick recap, the party went to Blackjack's Tavern and met up with the elusive Greenbird to get a mission, and this mission was to retrieve a test subject from the Southmaw Asylum. The party travelled across water, went through an abandoned mine shaft, had a fight with a bunch of freak show gangers, and eventually made their way to the outskirts of the shantytown that surrounds Southmaw. And the last thing that we did before we left off was you had all breached into the cavern and got a glimpse at your destination for the first time. And as you guys were overlooking this shantytown that surrounds it, you were planning your next moves. So, as we return, what would you guys like to do?
If I remember right, we were trying to figure out the best way to breach Southmaw because it seemed pretty well defended.
Yes.
I remember Villain was... So I'm playing Villain, hello. She is a spider assassin, and she was considering her options and whether or not there were spider operatives in the region that she could get intel from. And I was kind of like proposing that as a potential avenue, but also open to other ideas if Ona and Azra have ideas as well.
Yeah, I was just standing there surveying. You know, I think we're on some sort of like ledge or sort of cliff, like, overlooking the thing. So I'm just there, sort of surveying whether there's like supply routes in and out of the asylum to see if we can maybe bung in the back of like a cart or something like that. So I'm just looking at what's going in and out of the establishment that we're trying to get into.
Yes,
the moment.
And last session you did manage to catch a glimpse that there were the occasional cart or two that would make their way from the shoreline on the docks up towards Southmaw's gates. So, possibility.
Yeah, I kind of recall that we were kind of keeping that in mind as an option to potentially like hitch a ride, as it were.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if that's going to be the way that we want to go, because yeah, it feels like we are definitely going to be found out if we just kind of go in.
We'll just stroll
hey,
through.
fellas, how's it going?
Little risque. Is there some sort of finding a spider assassin role that I can make that would help Villain know where one would be if one were here?
Right. So in the last session, you did make a roll to see if you knew whether or not there was a spider assassin here, and the outcome was you don't know, but there have been spider operatives that have operated around here before, so there's a chance that there is one here. If you wanted to find them, I would say that Villain would be fairly clued on as to how to trace like potential safe spots that spider operatives would use. Generally, these are marked out using thieves' cant.
Oh, sweet.
So a series of symbols that are left around the place that can guide knowing people towards the right destination.
Sweet. So yeah, Villain is definitely proficient in thieves' cant. So
Yes.
yeah, I think.
But the ledge that we're on, there's obviously not going to be any markings around the ledge that we're on, or is there any sort of? Is there like a road down to the shanty town that we could just maybe go into? I don't want to obviously just walk straight into the shanty town like yeah.
So yeah, there is a path that basically follows the walls of the cavern that go down towards the upper sections of this shantytown. As for around you right now, I mean, you don't particularly see any markings. You can always roll another perception check if you want.
Yeah, so Villain will propose this idea to the crew and she'll say like, basically, the gist of it is like, hey, I might know someone with intel on Southmaw, but I'll need to go down into the shanty to see where they might be staying.
I'm gonna propose something directly to the DM.
Yes.
Am I able to pose a question to the box?
Ooh.
Okay.
You can
What the
certainly
hell?
try, in the words of Matt Mercer.
Okay.
Well, what do you do?
So let's see. I would like to. What would I? Okay, I want to ask the box if there's like, if there's anybody in the town that it knows of that we could reasonably rely on for either help or just additional information. Do you think that's something that the box would know?
Well, ask the box.
So would I roll?
I'm just
I
like,
roll
why is he
insight?
talking to a box?
Investigation.
You can roll a you can roll. I guess you're trying to persuade information from the box, so you can roll persuasion.
Okay. Yeah. So I have my box sort of up close like this, and I just go, hey, it's me. Is there any chance that there's somebody here that could help us out? And my persuasion is a +2, and I rolled a 12, so that's a 14.
Does Ona say this out loud?
Yes.
All right,
Yeah,
Villain.
I don't say it super loud, but like I'm just over here. I'm like, hey, hi.
Villain's
Hello?
gonna just kind of look at you and then kind of do this like kind of thing, like just kind of like, what the hell?
Yeah, I'm just like this.
Okay, so as you pose this question to the box, you have this familiar and very strange feeling wash over you in the back of your mind. You almost feel two hands clasp around the tops of your shoulders. You feel the pressure from something, although as you look, there is nothing there.
There's nothing there, Honor. There's nothing there, mate.
You don't hear words, just emotions and feeling. You get a sense of uncertainty, but then you feel as if this hand touches the side of your face and pushes it to look towards Southmaw, and you feel excitement.
Guys, do you see where I'm looking right now?
I would like to try to suss out what the hell is going on with our companion. Is there any way I could like try to glimpse as like what's going on here?
Roll insight, and I guess Bill, roll. I mean, you're not trying to particularly hide it, are you?
Yeah, no, I think at this point it's like my guess is as good as yours. So-
All right.
Just roll a simple charisma check. So no skills on top.
Okay.
And we'll see if.
Oh, cool. My charisma's a +2, so that's a 15. 13 + 2.
Am I also rolling charisma? Or
Yep.
do you want me to?
So,
Okay. I rolled
just roll simple charisma.
I rolled a 13.
And what was your roll, villain?
13 + 2, so it's 15.
Okay. I will say that the strange attachment that Honor has had towards this box for the time that you have known him definitely shows that there is something very important in this box. Whatever it is seems to be something that he can communicate with. What you determine that is up to your own knowledge of Rathe and things you have seen throughout your life. As to whether or not it's a problem, I guess you'll have to see.
Yeah, I guess.
But it definitely seems to be a source of... What's the term? It's a source that Honor can call on for
Yeah.
information,
Okay.
possibly.
So, as she sees it, she was like, "Okay, is this guy insane, or is it some occult stuff going on?" And I guess now she's very much convinced, like, "Oh, it's some occult stuff going on."
Yeah,
I'm weird, but for a reason.
you've seen the occasional actual crazy person before, villain, especially in your line of work.
Oh yeah.
Honor doesn't seem to have the symptoms of a crazy person, yet does crazy things.
Yeah, so
That's the best way to put it.
she'll just simply say, she'll be like, interesting. That's all
Azra's still like on the edge of the cliff with like a barrel that they found somewhere, just like propped up on the edge like Captain Morgan.
Yeah, just taking a sip of the rum. But I'm gonna obviously Honor's head is obviously the hand obviously pushed his head towards some location, right? So I'm going to try and roll a perception check as to where he is looking at to see if I can find out where he's looking at.
I mean, I would just tell you this without a roll, unless you want a roll. But it's very clearly Southmaw that he has turned his head to look at. And the way that he turned his head was slightly odd because it was very kind of delayed, like it was a slight turn, you know? Didn't seem 100% natural, but
it was a push. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very odd movement, not natural.
Okay,
right.
so he's not. They're not. He's just looking at Southmaw in the general direction. It's not like not looking at anything in particular that gives us information as to like how we could get in there or anything. Just generally.
Definitely just seems like a general glance towards.
But I mean, I'll take it. That means to me that there's someone there, as opposed to just completely being like an inhospitable hellscape. So,
someone in Southmaw could help us. Perhaps.
Well, we need to get into Southmaw. That's the trouble.
That's what the box says, man.
So, yeah, Villain is gonna suggest she might know someone down in the shanty town, and she's just gonna say, let's head down there, and I'll look for directions as we go, shall we?
Yeah.
Now, I will bring up as well, because this was a point to note at the end of last session. Bill is, Honor, I should say, is wearing Solanian symbology.
Yeah.
And that was something that you guys had considered trying to cover up. So that's up to you how you guys want to do that. If you want to do that.
How overt are they? Are they like pins, or are they like engraved into like his armor or his clothing?
Yeah, it's like the whole deal. It's like it's all of it.
Okay, all right.
It's like it's like a photo printout of Prism's face. It's like in the middle of my.
Okay.
That's not true.
All right.
That's not true.
Villain, I have a plan. The plan is, before Ona gets down into the shanty town where people can see them, perhaps I can go ahead a little bit and then grab some sort of poncho cloth type thing, or make into a poncho. Maybe it's a cloth over some crates. Maybe it's a cloth from a broken overhang or something. But I just want to grab some sort of cloth that we could just put over Ona, so people can't see what he's wearing. So into like a poncho kind of thing. And if it doesn't have a hole in it, Villain will take out her dagger and cut a hole in it.
Right. So yeah, there's definitely some material that's like fabric or canvas that you do actually see pretty much straight away as soon as you enter the shantytown, because there is crates and barrels and even laundry that is hung up and strung across sort of in between the buildings. So that is definitely something that you guys could grab.
Cool.
To sort of cover up Honor as best as possible.
Yep. So yeah, that's what Vin will do. She's not going to grab any laundry because that's a little more suspicious. So she's just going to grab any like random large-ish piece of like fabric that's on some crates or whatever that she doesn't think most folks would
care about.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So you definitely find a large piece of very similar material to the tent.
Okay.
That you were hiding under before.
Yep.
Big
Yeah, hell
big
yeah.
piece of canvas, and yeah, easily enough with Villain's dagger, you go ahead and cut a
Yep.
hole and place
She-
it directly over.
She's gonna hold it, and say, "It doesn't smell great, but here you go." And then she's just gonna put it over his head.
Villain walks over with this just like piece of ratty tent. All right, arms up.
Like putting clothes on a toddler.
She will say, like, this will make you a bit more inconspicuous. Cool.
Can I still hold my box?
Yeah, I'm not gonna stop you from holding your box.
That's a non-negotiable. That wasn't really a question.
All right, so with I guess a potential quote-unquote disguise for honor, you guys have basically just taken your first couple steps into the shantytown. The paths in here that you can take are normally fairly narrow. It doesn't seem like it's a road per se. It's almost like just a larger alley.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there is just barrels, crates, filth, scrap metal, bits of laundry that's fallen off lines, and just pipes that just travel in between all of these buildings that you see. It is overwhelming the amount of just stuff there is in this shantytown that's just been cobbled together by the denizens just to make do.
Can we like hear any people or see any people walking around or anything, or is it desolate?
You do hear sort of hustle and bustle, I will say, is the easiest way. You do hear the occasional shout, yell, whether it is yelling for attention towards someone or yelling because of being hurt, you don't know. But yeah, there is the occasional person that you do see sort of up ahead. Sort of, some of them will be just up against buildings, sort of almost sitting in a corner, wherever they can, just sort of laying there. You do see the occasional person that's just sort of walking around, but yeah, you'd have to push into the shantytown further in order to get a more general sense as to the citizens here.
As we go, Villain's going to be looking for signs of Thieves' Cant to get a possible direction as to a spider hideout.
Sure, roll for me a perception check.
Okie dokie. Not good. Let me see. That was a 5 plus 3. That's an 8.
8. At least around this section, you don't see anything that you could make out to be Thieves' Cant of any sort.
Okay, and she's just gonna be like constantly looking as we like traverse through the alleyways. So
Sure.
let me know when you'd like me to roll again.
Yeah. All right. So
Yeah, and I'm because I just don't know better, and I'm pretty like tone deaf. As we're walking, if we end up like making eye contact with people, I'm just like, how's it going?
so you guys begin, I guess, making your way just towards Southmaw as a general rule of thumb.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys begin making your way through the streets. Occasionally, you have to take a right turn towards the docks because the path that you're on ends. The people that you see here are definitely worse for wear. You have seen squeakers and other sort of homeless people before, and these people look very similar while still actually having a home. They are covered in filth, tattered rags. You do see that there is the occasional person that is wearing leathers and is carrying around a makeshift weapon of some sort to bludgeon someone with. As you guys are moving through, people do take notice of your presence. Don't seem particularly alarmed. They're just more like, there's a group of 3 people coming through, and most of the people around here are actually making way. They're actively trying to avoid coming into contact with 3 individuals that, well, I'd say probably 2 individuals look quite threatening, and one is covered in a poncho.
One is disquietingly friendly.
Yes.
I don't know. He's just there clunking around with his poncho.
It definitely seems that at the very least, a lot of the really lower class here have learnt to survive by avoiding people like you.
Yeah, it's got to be a sight because there's like villain with her like, her like demon mask, and then there's like Azra just kind of like strutting around in his like leather armor, and then some crazy guy following him with his box, just kind of like muttering to himself and be like, "Hello."
I'm like pointing people out to the box, like waving.
As you guys continue to make your way through, you see the occasion. So most of these buildings, I'll say, just to describe them a bit more, they are made from a combination of brick, very, very like worn brick, sheet metal, scrap metal, wood, and the occasional just sort of bits of canvas that's been used to sort of patch holes or be used as blinds, I guess you could say. Most of these buildings as well begin with 2 stories, so a ground floor and a first floor. I'm not sure how you guys in America will classify the ground floor, first floor, or second floor, but there's 2 stories to it basically.
Right.
Yeah.
As a minimum. It is very rare as you're walking through to see anything that is 1 story.
Okay.
In fact, from just sort of glancing through alleyways as you pass them, and get sort of a sight of the lower sections of the shantytown, some buildings go as high as 4 stories. So it is an example of humans trying to live through whatever means they can possibly make. They've been forced into a situation one way or another where they have to live in this shanty town, and they have cobbled together whatever they can call home.
I have an idea.
Yes.
I have an idea. So as we're going through this, as we're looking at all of these buildings and just kind of taking it in, you said there are numerous amounts of people around. Some of them are squeakers. I do know that the spider assassins have used squeakers before as informants. So the next lone squeaker that villain sees, she would like to flash thieves' cant at them to see if they recognize the thieves' cant.
You would like to flash them.
Flash them. Yeah, she would like to when they like the next one she sees, she would like to attempt to thieves' cant if they make eye contact.
Okay.
To see if they recognize it.
Yeah, so after sort of deciding to try this, it doesn't take very long at all for you to glance at an upcoming alleyway that you're about to sort of pass, and you definitely do see a young boy that is keeping a very careful eye towards you. Seems very scared, very emaciated as well. So as you approach, what do you try to, I guess, say in thieves' cant? So is it through a motion of hand gestures?
Yeah, it's
something you say that's code.
It's gonna be a hand gesture of basically like let's see, what would be the most appropriate? It would be some sort of like greeting and like seeking aid kind of deal. Like hey, I need your assistance kind of thing. And she's gonna do it very subtly, like not even just kind of like square on. Maybe even it's just like a quick little thing.
Just some gang signs off to the side.
Yeah, like not like high up, but like low, indiscreet, so that other folks wouldn't even recognize it. You know,
Sure.
In,
most
like,
people would think
in
it
perfect American Sign Language. Do you like jazz?
like
Um,
most people would just think it's just kind of like, moving your
You moving your
arm
hand.
or just kind of like
hmm.
a
Fidgeting.
little fidget. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very easy for villain to do. I will say, depending on your demeanor that you wish to come across with, you can roll either persuasion or intimidation.
I'm gonna do persuasion, though. I think they're both the same for me anyway. I'm gonna roll persuasion. Let's see. And if this works, I have another idea too. I'm gonna take some of who has the cheese. I'm gonna take some of their cheese and give it to this
I
person.
got the
I
cheese.
believe that's Azra. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's an 18 plus 2. That's 20.
Wow. Okay. So, are you going to approach and give cheese at the moment, or just wait and see what they do?
I'll see what
Use
their
the cheese as a last
I'll
resort,
see
I
what their
reckon.
I'll see what their response is. If their response
Okay.
is a welcoming response,
Save the cheese.
Then offer the cheese afterwards.
then I'm gonna demand the cheese from Azra.
Yeah.
All right. So, as you guys are making your way forward, and this squeaker boy has sort of made eye contact towards the group, you make eye contact back and subtly flash some gestures towards him. His eyes go extremely wide. He looks absolutely terrified, but you do see that as he's sort of shaking and frozen in fear, it looks like he's considering running, but he is not.
I would like when the second I see the fear, I would like to sign friend. So I would like to be like, hey, I'm not here to kill you.
Okay.
I need friends.
Right. His expression after you sign that does not change, but you see he's definitely taken note that you've seen him, and if he were to run, it would be probably very easy for you to catch him.
Yeah.
With a shaky hand, you see him raise his hand and point across the street towards a pipe that is sort of bolted on to one of the buildings, and just
That's
keeps his hand
intriguing.
pointing towards it.
I'm gonna look to Azra, and I'm gonna put out my hand and I say, Azra, cheese.
Cheese? Why do you want
Yeah.
the cheese? What do you want the cheese for?
Payment.
You're gonna give the boy the cheese.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay. And get my steam blade off. I'm gonna cut the cheese so it melts a little bit.
All right.
You hear a hiss as the blade cuts through this this wheel of cheese.
I'm gonna look at this terrified boy and I'm gonna sign cheese.
She's gonna take the piece of cheese. She's gonna walk
Yeah.
2 steps towards him, no more, and then
Okay.
set the cheese down, and then walk
Okay.
2 steps back, and then head towards the pipe that they're pointing at.
Okay. So you place the cheese down. The boy is still terrified, but eyes lock on to the food. Doesn't make any sort of movement after you've placed it down, and just keeps watching as you guys begin to head towards the pipe that he's just pointed at. As you head over there, it becomes very obvious now why he's pointed you to this pipe. You do see that there is some sort of paint that's been put on this pipe in a series of symbols. So the symbols, as you see them, you immediately realize it's Thieves' Cant. And you get the sense that whether or not the boy understood your Thieves' Cant, he understood that it was Thieves' Cant. You see that the symbols, the first one you see is a circle with an X through it, which you know to be safe house. And then above it is a diamond-like shape. So think of like a square, but rotated so the the corners are pointed sort of horizontally and vertically, but with the lower section of it missing. And you see an arrow that is pointing down the road in the
Okay.
same direction that you were facing.
Okay.
So you
perfect.
get the sense that safe house this direction is what
Cool.
the thieves' can says.
Yeah, Villain's just gonna kind of remark to the other two. She's just gonna say something along the lines of, "Oh, lovely," and then she's gonna look back at the squeaker, and she is going to sign quick, just thanks.
Mhm.
If they're still there and paying attention, and
Yes, they are still eyeing you up, but also you can see their eyes are darting between you and the cheese.
yeah. She will motion.
Understandable.
She will motion
Yeah.
like very clearly, like the cheese is yours. Basically, she's just gonna be
Okay.
like that, and then she's gonna say to Anna and Azra, who probably have no idea what the hell this weird painting is on the pipe. She's gonna be like, "We may have a lead this way." She's gonna head the way that the
Make
thieves' camp is.
I'm gonna make some type of comment and like, well, at least my box like said something to me.
You heard it
I'm
here
just
first.
gonna-
Bill's box has a squeaker inside.
Yeah.
Hey, there could be a lot in here.
All right.
I'm just
so
gonna, I'm
you
just
guys...
gonna, I'm just gonna point at the boy as I walk past and just say, "You better eat that cheese, mate."
Are you gonna roll for
good
intimidate?
stuff.
Are you going to actively try and intimidate him, or
No.
no?
No.
Okay.
No.
So this is just passive intimidation, I guess.
Just passive, you know.
You see,
Cowardly. That's not
very-
the Azra that I know.
very conflicted. This boy, it doesn't seem to know what to do, and takes a couple steps towards the cheese, and then a couple more, and slowly reaches down for the cheese, picks it up, and begins just slowly backing up into the alleyway.
Yeah, good.
Nice.
And Villain will remark as they're walking towards it, just like quietly to Azra and Ona, that the spider always pays their debts as they walk towards.
Exceptional.
You use,
And
they use squeakers, but everyone gets paid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the whole point. That's the point. You
Yeah.
know.
I will say that Azra, this interaction between a spider operative and a squeaker, hits very close to home for you.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah.
So, as you guys continue, you keeping an eye out for further thieves' cant, which you do find.
Sweet.
There is definitely a trail of some sort that you guys begin following. It takes you through various turns. You have to go through alleyways, make double backs in certain areas, but you find yourself pushing closer and closer towards Southmaw. Still, individuals giving you glances as you pass. Some individuals who are also sharing these paths or roads, if you could call them that are wearing leathers. Some of them don't seem intimidated by your presence. In fact, they almost exert their own upon you. As they pass, you see that they will mean mug you quite intensely. Many of them sort of flourishing their weapons in their own way, whether it's people with clubs sort of doing a twirl, or people with blades on their hips, sort of quickly flashing them as they pass.
I make a check on these people because I'm an urban bounty hunter, so I might be able to recognize like these people's professions or intentions with the weapons that they're carrying and stuff.
I will say roll an insight check with advantage on this,
Insight.
because this is something that you are quite familiar with.
Okay.
Sort of gleaming these individuals.
Well, I'm definitely looking in their direction, but I rolled a 3 and I have no. Oh, no, I've got advantage. So you said so I can roll
so
again.
You can roll again.
All right, let's go. Okay, a 9, but with no bonuses on insight, unfortunately.
Okay. I will say that these people, some of them probably wouldn't be kitted out enough to be considered, in your eyes, a bounty hunter. They may be, but just in their own way with what they can make do.
Yeah.
You get the sense that these people, you don't think they belong to a gang, but they might. And they definitely seem to be making their presence known for a reason, and you think that they're probably acting as some sort of guards, police, something to enforce. For what they're enforcing for and what rules they're enforcing, you do not know. But yeah, a lot of these individuals, while not stopping you, definitely want you to know that they are there.
Yeah, Villain's just gonna basically just be very stoic, keep her head high, and then just kind of like give him the side eye as she walks past. Like the slight amount of acknowledgement, but not enough to actually turn her head at all. But just to keep an eye on things.
Yes, and most of these individuals do very similarly sort of acknowledge your presence in the same way.
Are we still following a path that's laid out to us, are we, as we go through these people?
Yes.
Yeah,
So you do see it takes a little bit of looking on occasions, just because a lot of the directions are quite vague. But at any point where you have to turn, you do see that there are more thieves' cant markings that have been sort of painted onto various things, whether it's a wall as graffiti, pipes, a bit of scrap metal. Anything that seems to be attached to a building is a canvas for these types of thieves' cant.
And as far as we're aware, this is leading us to a safe house, is it?
That's what the markings indicate.
Yeah, so I just said that we may have a lead.
Yeah.
I didn't really say exactly what we're going for.
You're just like, follow me.
That's what I'm trying to ascertain. I'm just seeing all these people with like clubs and swords and stuff. I'm like, hold on a minute. We're venturing further and further into this area, but I don't know what these guys are about. But they don't look good. So I'm just going to say to Villain and Honor, I can see these people are, they're showing off a little bit. They're sort of making their presence known. So we should have to just keep on our guard, if that makes the passive perception any better as such. But yeah, we'll carry on going, I guess.
All right. So, marking by marking, one by one, as you get closer towards Southmaw. After about 10, 15 odd minutes of walking, you eventually reach a alleyway that has a rusted chain link fence at the end of it, and a small gate that you can use to pass through. There is a bit of scrap metal off to the side that you see has a new set of thieves' cant on it. This one has the same circle with an X through it before, which is the safe house. You see an inverted version of the same diamond-like shape from before, but instead of an arrow within, you see a downwards-facing chevron, which points towards the bottom of the inside, which you know to be safe this way. And then you also see 3 small circles in a horizontal line, which you know is an indication that this is safe for the guild. So, in this case for you, it'd be for Spider.
All right.
So this is a dead-end alleyway that this has led you to.
Yeah. So I'm looking around.
So Villain will turn to Anna and Azra and be like, basically just say what kind of like is going on here, and she's just gonna be like, there should be a safe house nearby, one that I am welcome at, and you as my companions will be welcome at as well. perhaps we'll be able to find some information on how to penetrate Southmaw from there. So keep your eyes out. There should be an opening nearby, and I would like to look for the entrance.
So yeah, this alleyway, you do see that it actually fully ends in a section of building at the end, but before that is a chain link fence that has a gate that you can open. So
Okay.
I'm assuming you just open the gate
Yeah.
and walk through.
Yeah. If that's the
Yep.
only obvious path, we'll take that one first.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it. So as you guys go through, you now see at the end, bolted onto the wall, is a series of metal rungs, a ladder, I should say, that would take you all the way up to what seems to be the roof of this building, which is about a 3-story building that you can see.
Cool. I mean, villain's gonna take the charge and just scamper right up that thing.
All right. So let's begin climbing. The efficiency, or the strength, I should say, of these metal rungs is a bit tedious. As you see, it's quite old, quite rusted. But it does seem to support your weight. And
Yeah.
you begin climbing up the side of this building. Azra, Honor, do you follow suit?
Should note, villain is not super heavy. She's a very lethal assassin.
She's very
so,
light.
Yeah, I was about to say. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by it can support your? I definitely am not going to be super happy about just like
No.
the situation that we're currently in, because we've been like mean mugged by all the people that I've been like courteously waving to, and I'm just not a fan of that. So I'll probably wait to see what happens. So I'll probably like Anna is gonna stay on the ground for now.
On the ground for now.
And just
Alright.
sort of see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. And is there any other ways that you can get to the top of the roof apart from the ladder? Just like to maybe give us another angle as to what's up there.
The only way that you could see is there is the occasional pipe that does sort of run from the side of the building up towards the roof, so you could try climb the pipe if you wanted. But yeah, other than the pipe and the ladder, that seems to be the only way up.
Yeah, well, luckily I do have some good athletics, so I'm going to support villain going up the ladder, but a different way round, just in case there's something like ahead of, they might need a flank or something like that.
Okay. So I guess the sturdiest looking pipe that you can see is about 5 to 10 feet back from where the ladder is, so you could climb that if you wish. If you do, you'll have to make an athletics check.
Yeah, we'll go for that. Yeah, we'll climb the pole.
All right.
Oh, we got a natural 20. Lovely old job.
All right.
There you go. Someone who is the Night Stalker should be very capable at climbing to sniping
Literally
positions.
Batman.
I'm Night Stalker.
Yeah, absolutely. I just go at that thing like I've done it a million times before,
Yep.
right up that pole.
Very
You know.
easy.
And the strip clubs are metrics, anyway.
You know how to support your weight and distribute it well in order to
In
climb.
fantastic ways.
The pipe does groan, but
Does it
doesn't
now?
seem to give out. Oh man.
Meanwhile, I'm
Pipe
holding back with all of
does
the what's that
groan.
supposed to mean jokes.
Oh my god. Oh, brilliant.
But
Yeah, I'll make it up
As-
there.
as you climb up, Villain, you are the first to make it to this roof. And as you pull yourself up, this roof is made from a lot of scrap metal, sort of panels that have been layered on top, bolted in with whatever people could find. You do sort of keep your eye out to make sure you don't fall through the roof. But up here, you do see that there is like a series of pipes, just a conglomerate of pipes that are running from building to building. You see air vents that have been sort of placed on the roof, some chimneys that are billowing out bits of smoke and steam. and you do see a. How big is it? I've actually got it written here. Directly ahead of you, maybe about 10 feet from where you are, you see a small scrap metal and wood shack, no bigger than 10 by 10 feet.
Okay.
And then after a couple of seconds, Azra, you come up a little bit further away from where Villain is.
I can still see the same stuff, yeah.
Yep, so you see the same stuff.
All right.
Cool. She's just gonna look at Azra and then kind of like motion towards the shack, and she's gonna say something along the lines of, "This is likely it. Let's check it out." And then she's gonna look back down at Ona,
Yeah.
and then do like this,
Just like, okay.
and do like this, like, "Come on," and then wait a second, and then be like, and then.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
Anna, what do you do?
If everything is good, then yeah, I'll definitely attempt to make my way up the ladder, the sort of tried and true method. I am not quite as svelte as Villain is, though. So.
Sure. So as you climb this ladder, you definitely weigh more than everyone else here, just due to your equipment. But you're fairly strong. Your time in the ranks of Solana's finest, if you can call yourself the finest, that's up to you. Has definitely trained you in some form of strength. So you can climb with very little strain on you. The railings that are sort of bolted in, or the rungs of the ladder, do groan and creak a little bit, but they support you for now. And eventually you make your way to the top as well.
Okay, that's good. I feel very supported. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I like get up there, sort of like dust myself off, and I just sort of look around, and I see that both of my compatriots are not paying attention to me at all, and they're both looking at this shed, and I'm just like, I see what's going on. Okay.
And from up on this roof as well, it appears that you've gotten very close to Southmaw. It seems like it would be maybe a couple minutes walk from here.
Okay.
And you can get a sense of the layout, like the actual structure layout of the outer walls of Southmaw. There are quite a few guards posted on the walls of Southmaw, and you see that there are multiple spotlights that are constantly doing a pattern of sweeps, pretty much just around the immediate perimeter, so not towards you. But yeah, it definitely seems like it's manned quite a bit.
Just can't just go walking on in.
Yeah.
It's almost a very dystopian landscape that you see ahead of you. It's quite different from anything quite a lot of you have seen, actually.
Kind of sounds like a sort of like a military complex almost.
Yeah.
Or like a jail.
for something that is often touted as a quote-unquote hospital, it seems more than a hospital. It definitely lives up to the name of Southmaw Asylum.
Yeah.
So
I guess we approach the shack then. If this is the lead that you think is the thing we should be checking out, Villain, I guess.
Yeah, she's gonna take the lead and approach the shack. And I suppose look for more thieves' cant to indicate that this is the correct place. And
yeah, you do see that pretty much right next to the door on the scrap metal, there is a circle with an X.
Perfect.
So this definitely seems like the safe house, if this could be called, I guess, a house.
Right.
But yeah, the door is currently shut. So yeah, it's up to you if you wish to open the door.
Yeah, so before she opens the door, if this exists, DM, I don't know. But if this exists, if there's some sort of like secret knock that she can do to notify the people inside, if there is anyone inside, that, hey, I'm a friend. I know what's up. This isn't, you know, a raid or anything. Like, this is one of us coming in. She's going to do that sort of
Sure.
knock
That
on
would
the
come
door.
under Thieves' Cant.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The specific, I guess, dialect of Thieves' Cant that you have is one specific to Spider.
Yeah.
So you guys hear a villain make this very specific pattern for knocking. Hear no response inside.
What does she do? She's gonna do it one more time, and if there's no response there, she'll attempt to check the door to see if it's locked, I suppose.
Sure. Once more. No response.
Okay, and she's gonna.
You can definitely check for traps if you wish to roll investigation.
Yes. Let me see. My investigation is okay. It's +2. Well, that's pretty good. That's a 21.
21.
Yeah.
Having a look around, you definitely get the sense that this is not trapped. Doesn't appear to be locked either.
Cool. She's gonna very slowly turn, and then kind of like do the very slow door open kind of thing, and kind of like
Mhm.
peer in as the door opens, and like kind of like what does she see as it opens? She's not just gonna barrel in. She's gonna be very very cautious. Villain's a kind of, well, she's an assassin, right? She's a very trained assassin, and she's not gonna present her back to anything that she doesn't know exists. So she's gonna open the door in such a way that she can kind of see as it opens.
Sure. So as you slowly open the door, you hear it creak, and sort of the material that the shack is made of almost, I guess, creaks and moans from the strain of the door opening. At first, it's dark inside that you see. You can glimpse as you open. First, you see a small desk and a chair. And then as you open it a bit further, you see that there is a sleeping hammock that is sort of tied up and sort of suspended at the back. And then as you open further, you see a large wooden chest, and you see some sort of burlap or hempen sacks that are just filled with something.
Okay, and then as she gets like the full view, she's gonna quickly do this thing where she like looks around and checks behind the door, just out of habit.
Sure. Nothing behind the door.
Okay, cool.
That is living, just inanimate objects.
Not
Uh,
a pile of
sure.
dead bodies.
It definitely seems like there is no one in the shack.
Once she's sure that there's no one in, she's gonna glance back to Azra and Ona, and kind of motion for them to come on inside, and maybe we'll see if we can get any information from here.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. So.
Go
Ezra,
At this
inside.
point,
Honor?
yeah, I'm hopping in.
Sure. All right.
She'll I guess she'll explain too, so it's not like you guys are just walking into a random ass place. She'll explain that this is a safe house, or at least it should be a safe house that folks of her profession use occasionally. So
Cool. All right then.
Okay. So you guys enter the shack. Do you leave the door open? Are you shutting it behind you?
we're closing the
I'm
door.
gonna leave a door. Oh, okay. I was gonna say I could leave a door open and just make sure we're not getting locked in or anything.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
All right.
Yeah, it's
Alright.
a safe house. Yeah, and even if it isn't,
True. Yes. True. Yeah.
even if it isn't, Villain can pick locks. Like she's got some thieves' tools. She can. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. So, you guys are now inside the safe house. Door shut. I'm assuming. Yep.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
want to keep our privacy here. We don't want. We've kind of alerted ourselves to some of the local thugs, but we don't want to be like, hey, we're open for business, kind of thing.
I want to. I'm immediately making my way over to the hempen sacks. I want to see what these are about.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, while Anna's doing that, Villain will check out the desk.
All right.
Well-
So, Honor, the
Yes.
hempen sacks. As you look inside, You see that one of them is just filled with scraps of fabric. You have a look in another one, and you see that there is a collection of bottles, it seems like. Food scraps, bits of ration. It just seems like a lot of these hempen sacks are just filled with what you would assume to be just junk, really.
Yeah. My immediate reaction is, guys, I think this is garbage.
Stop zipping around in the garbage, Anna.
Villain will joke and be like, "Hey, maybe there's a less putrid smelling rag that we could use for your poncho."
And you also
Hurtful
find
but
a
accurate.
you also find a Leviah Shadowborn Abomination card in there for some reason.
No way.
Nah, I'm
Wow.
just kidding.
No
she's good
way.
Oh,
Going
this is
on record.
this is worth like $60.
No.
No, just Shadowborn Abomination. It's just the token.
It's just
Oh,
the token.
it's not even
And
rainbow
you see
foil.
Hexagore in there too.
It's not even rainbow
Oh
foil.
wow.
I know Tommy
Brilliant.
Fresh is gonna get a kick out of that.
Oh, yeah.
So villain, you look at the desk. So on the desk, there is a small unlit oil lantern. There seems to be some sort of writing equipment. There's like a quill and ink fountain, and just scraps of parchment. On them, you don't see anything.
How dark is it in the shack?
It's fairly dark, considering that the cavern itself was already kind of dark. Inside this shack, there are like the occasional hole in the construction of the shack where light will pierce through, but it's pretty dark.
I will attempt to turn on the oil lantern.
Sure, and there is oil in there, and it does light up.
He's busy.
Using tinderbox, I'm assuming to light it.
Yep.
It does light. So now there is a warm glow that is filling the space.
Just so we can see a little bit better as we investigate things. And so there's like nothing written on any of the papers or anything like that.
No, it seems like there has been writing that has been done, because there is the occasional ink spill that's sort of stained the desk and a few bits of parchment. But it seems like anything that would have been written would have been taken with the individual that has written it, for good reason.
Does the desk have any drawers or anything, or is it just like a solid tabletop?
Just a solid tabletop on this one.
Okay.
And you said there was also a chest in the room as well.
Mhm.
Yes, there is a chest.
Yeah,
in
that
the
was
room.
gonna be my next thing, but you can jump on that.
Yeah,
If-
I reckon we should. After turning the oil lantern on, there isn't any other things that we see that immediately we didn't see when we walked in.
It's pretty bare bones.
Still garbage.
Still
garbage.
Noted.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess the chest is the only thing we don't know what's inside of. I guess.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you try open the chest.
Yeah. Well, I'll have a look at it first to see if there's any sort of if it's been booby trapped or what have you. I just don't go just putting my hands on random boxes anymore
That's
after that
smart.
last incident in Metrics. So I guess I check that out.
All right. Roll investigation.
All right, let's go. 11 plus. Well, there's no tick in my box, so I guess it'd just be the no. It's just an 11. Is that right? There's no tick in the investigation.
It's intellect.
Investigation uses intelligence.
So yeah, whatever your intellect bonus is, you'll get as well.
Oh, I see. So +1, so 12 in total.
You're pretty
Checking out the
confident
box.
you're pretty confident that it's not trapped. And it is locked.
Okay, right. Villain, can we get into this? Can you get into this somehow? I know you're
Yeah, just give me one.
versed in picking locks.
Just give me 1
Do I
second.
have
She's gonna
cover-based?
she's gonna reach back into her kind of like the sash that's around her waist. She's gonna reach back and then pull out a nice little set of ornate thieves tools, right? So it's just kind of like various lock picks, weird looking keys, all like this kind of like very ornate looking, very. It's got like this, like on the ring, it's got like this kind of like fancy dragon inlaid with like this kind of like wispy pattern on it that almost looks like waves.
So I
It's
have
like Mysterian vibes.
I have a question about the chest itself. Is it locked with an internal mechanism or a padlock?
This is locked with an internal mechanism.
Okay. And it's like a wooden sort of chest, like a standard wooden chest where it kind of has that like domed top and whatever, or is it like a flat top? Okay.
It's probably I don't know how. It's maybe like 1.5 feet long, I guess, and like maybe about half that tall. So you're very standard, I guess, almost like a pirate treasure chest.
Sweet.
Yep.
I would like to swing my mace at the top of this chest.
All right. Well, villain has.
Hold on. Don't smash the chest.
Start picking the lock. Do you still
make a lot of noise?
If we've gotten that far already, I thought that we were still just looking at the lockpicks and kind of deciding what we wanted to do. But yeah, if we've gotten to the point where the lock is actively being picked, then yeah, never mind.
I would say it's about to be actively picked. You do see that villain, obviously, because it's been described.
I have my mace out and I look upset.
She's gonna look at him, look at the mace, and be like, just hold on. There'll be plenty of things to smash later.
And you have a warhammer as well, not a mace. I'm pretty sure.
Very large
I think
mace.
I have it written down as a mace, but warhammer makes more sense. Yes.
Honor, when we're all done with this, if you want to smash some stuff, I'll take you to Metrics. I know a few places.
I just sort of sagely nod. This is the most quiet I've been.
Yeah. Villain will say under her breath, offhandedly to no one in particular, Metrics is very smashable. As she kind of like, as she like, does the whole thing where she sticks the, I don't know the proper terms, but she sticks the one piece in, sticks the other thing in, and kind of like tries to work it. And I will roll, sleight of hand, I believe, which I have a +5 to. Yeah, I think they smashed lock picking and pickpocketing and all this stuff into like just sleight of hand, I think.
You can attempt to pick the lock and get to add your proficiency bonus to the dex check. You have thieves tools and have it.
Ooh, proficiency bonus. All right, well it's a +8 then. Cool.
Holy hell!
All right, well, I'd have to be pretty catastrophically bad.
Dexterity check is what they say.
Still +8. It's the same for me. If it's dex, my dex is +5. I'm very, very nimble.
Yeah, it's gonna be good regardless.
That's a good old whatever 14 + 8 is. So a good old 22.
22.
That's 22.
As you begin to pick the lock, it seems a bit more of a hardy lock than typical, like doors or locked containers would be. It definitely seems like it wants to keep people out where possible. And eventually you hear a click, and you have unlocked it.
Cool. Yeah. She's just gonna be like, she's just gonna say, "Oh, wonderful," and then she's going to take the her thieves' tools back, put it back in her like sash, and then grab it from both sides, and then slowly raise the lid to see what's in.
As you go to lift the lid, there is no trap.
Wow.
But you are startled as you hear a voice say, "Who do you work for?"
What the hell?
You stop in your tracks.
Villain will say without a heartbeat, like she will immediately say, whatever the typical greeting for a spider assassin is, whether it just be the spider or if there's a particular saying that's more colorful than that. she's going to say that
Mhm.
without even a second passing.
In response, you hear again, "Who do you work for?" This time,
Do we all
stern.
do we all hear this? Do we? Or
Yes, you all hear this.
oh
Is
god.
this is this sound originating from inside the chest? Just need to make sure for
No.
Yeah.
for myself.
No, it's
Roll a
not.
perception check.
Oh,
Hmm,
yeah.
It's not the
Absolutely.
chest, but roll a perception check.
I'm gonna roll and see.
None of you
perception,
have
ooh.
really attempted to do
Uh,
it.
23.
I rolled a
A
16
19 plus a 4.
16 plus 3, so I rolled a 19.
Okay.
Yeah, 16 plus 6, so 22. So I think Bill's the highest out of
All right.
that.
So,
He knows his demonic voices. He knows them.
so as you hear this voice again, all of you hear that it sounds like it's coming from the wall directly next to where the chest is sort of butted up against.
Mm.
And Bill, you can just see, and this helps because your dark vision that you have helps.
Mhm.
There is a small crack through the shack's wall, and you see an eye looking directly towards Villain.
There's a
Oh, God.
false wall. Okay.
If you hit it, it'll disappear.
And what you believe is this person is probably outside of the shack looking in.
Oh, I was imagining they're like in between the two layers of the shack, like where the insulation would
They're
be.
just like stuck. They're like,
They're just like in the
"Help,
wall.
help."
Who do you work for? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So
God.
yeah, I don't know what to do with that information. I just needed to make sure that we weren't dealing with like just teensy little guy.
Villain will
But
say,
yeah, I guess the second I see it, I like point directly at the eye. I'm just like,
Right.
"Eh."
all right, so when Villain catches the eye, she's gonna pull out her dagger and then just kind of hold it, kind of like so they could see the dagger kind of like going maybe across her mask, and she says,
Mhm.
contracts change from hands to hands, but my allegiance is my own and of that of the spider.
Roll
Fantastic.
Good answer.
roll either a persuasion or an intimidation. That's up to you.
Okey-doke. Nope. That's a nat 20. I'm not even sure.
Hey!
I'm not even sure what my. I think it'd be like a +2 or whatever. That's a nat 20.
Wow. I mean, that's the time you want to
Damn.
roll it.
Yeah.
You see, as it's hard to tell the expression on the face because you can't see much of the face other than an eye that's looking towards you. It seems to lax slightly, and you hear the voice say, "The Lynx. Are you affiliated with him?"
Am I affiliated with the Lynx?
Roll a history check.
Okay.
The links.
Wow, this is. I'm not even joking. That was a 19 on the roll.
Wow.
+2, so that's
Rolling hot today.
21. Yeah, I mean like. It's in my little dice. It's in my little dice tray. It's a 19.
So you hear the name Lynx, and it takes a moment. You're pretty certain that there is another spider operative called Lynx. You don't know much about them, but you do know that they exist. You're uncertain as to why you're being asked if you are aligned with them. But that's as much as you can really glean.
So
It's a very odd question to be asked.
yeah, so the way I gather that spider assassins work from like the actual Flesh and Blood lore is that they are mostly like independent contractors that take contracts out from various bodies, whether it be from more prominent members like Uzuri or through other means through like Blackjack's Tavern. So Villain's initial response would be, since she doesn't have any direct contact with this person, she will once again reiterate that she is aligned with herself and the spider and no one that she knows by the name of Lynx.
All right. With this, you see that the eye retracts from looking through this crack. And then you hear footsteps walk around the side of the shack to the door before you hear the same knocking sound that you made, Villain.
Okay then.
Okay.
Who's
the door open?
No. Who's they could have like attacked us if we left the door open.
As soon as we hear the knock, Anna just turns to the door. Yeah, who is it? Just no object permanence.
Who is it?
Who's the closest to the door? I know Villain's still at the chest, so
I would say probably Honor, because he was looking through these hempen sacks that were fairly close to the door, I'd say.
yeah, just gonna motion like,
Who is it?
if you want to open the door, go for it.
I look back over. I'm like, oh, okay. Open the door, sort of creak it open.
So you open the door.
Yeah, who do I see?
In front of you, you see a figure wearing a series of hard black leathers. You see a flowing, tattered, dark cloak that sort of shrouds them. You see a face mask covering their mouth. You can see that their left glove has a series of metal spikes attached to the fingers like a claw. And you see that their skin is quite pale, framed by shoulder-length, dark beige hair. It appears to be female of some sort. As the door opens, you see that she sort of looks over the group. Who exactly are you guys?
Well, if no one's gonna answer, so Villain will say,
Yes.
she'll say basically, like, does she have a reason to lie? I don't think she has that much of a reason to lie, but not a reason to tell all of the truth. She's just gonna say that she's been contracted out of Blackjack's Tavern to the Southmaw Asylum, and we're just seeking a way in, inconspicuously, of course.
As a sign of good faith, as a gesture of sort of peace, I'm gonna instinctively hand over a hempen sack. I'm just gonna present her a hempen sack.
I'm going to reach for the cheese again.
Slowly, carefully.
You see that she has a very puzzled look on her face. And she kind of ignores you, pushes past you, and shuts the door behind her.
That's funny.
She once again sort of looks most of you over, one by one, sort of taking stock as to your strengths, perhaps, or sizing you up in a way. And then looks towards Villain. You seem a bit familiar. I may have heard of you before, but I don't think we've ever met. My name is Porsha.
Do I recognize that name? Yeah.
This name, I'll go off of your previous role because you've been sort of trying to discern different names here. Porsha does definitely ring a bell. You've heard of spider assassins who are, I mean, most spider assassins are fiercely loyal to the organization itself. You've heard that Porsha is one of those who is exceptionally loyal to the spider, to the point where she actively seeks out those who betray the spider and hunts them down.
Oh dear.
A spider killer, but also a spider. And you've heard the occasional tale of this woman's cunning intellect and ability to hunt down those who wish not to be hunted.
Mm.
So a very potent agent for the spider.
Cool. So, villain will kind of like reciprocate and be like, she still has her dagger out, by the way, because she pulled it out when she did the whole thing. And she's just kind of like running her finger along the side. And she's just gonna say, I've heard of you as well. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else she would say. I think she would say something along the lines of, like your skills are well known among the other agents of the spider. And if villain does know she's fiercely loyal, she's going to put away her dagger.
Okay.
Villain herself is also very loyal to the spider and wouldn't see this person as a threat. She would see this person more as an ally than anything. A dangerous ally, but still not someone that they're not on the opposite sides. They're on the same side. So she's going to put away. She's going to sheath her dagger.
Definitely, you know that if you keep her on your good side, she can be a worthy asset.
As villain puts her dagger away, I'm also going to sort of interject and say, "Oh, we're looking for a way into Southmaw. Can you potentially help us, or do you know a way in to Southmaw Asylum?"
You see, as she sort of is very slightly taken aback at the fact that you want to go into Southmaw. She says,
"Yeah.
Well, I won't interject as to why you have to get into Southmaw, but it definitely wouldn't be particularly easy. But I can help you get in there if you need. I'm currently stationed here for the time being. My current objective is to hunt down a particular spider operative that has gone rogue. So I've been keeping an eye out. I've heard that he has somewhat of a potential interest in this place as well. But not sure what. I've been keeping an eye on the surrounds for a while, but I haven't seen anything as of yet. But
Villain's going to ask how long this operative has been rogue for. She just wants to maybe try to align the time frame of this rogue assassin along with the time frame of their current objective.
Okay. Porsha responds. Time is hard to track down here, but I'd say probably a couple years. This individual has been quite elusive.
Villain will be a little upfront, and she'll say that they are there on contract from Blackjacks to recover an asset inside Southmaw.
Recover an asset. What exactly are you recovering?
A living asset. Well, hopefully.
A living asset that goes by the name of Subject 1628, to be precise. Do you know of that? Do you know what that subject might be?
2-3, if I remember.
Oh, was it?
Correctly.
I wrote it down
Let me
wrong.
confirm
Sorry.
that. Oh, I might have misremembered. Let me have a quick look, because this is kind of important. The number 1623.
1623.
So you probably wrote a
okay.
3, and it just looks a little bit like an 8.
Yeah.
I will.
Yes.
I'll be right back. I have my headset though, so you can keep on going.
Sure. No worries. Well, I wouldn't imagine that this individual has been locked up in Southmaw. That would be quite the just means for revenge against him if he were locked up. So I'd assume that this test subject isn't related to my particular goals, but who knows? Many threads interweave down here. But if you do wish to get into Southmaw, I can show you a way in. It won't be particularly clean, and I say that in a literal sense. I would advise that if you were to enter, to go through the sewer systems. It's the least guarded area. It's much better than trying to scale the walls with the constant spotlight patrols.
Have you been down there? Have you been down there before? Is there anything we should be watching out for at all when we go in?
In the sewers?
In the sewers?
No. I
Yeah.
have not been in the sewers, but
Okay.
I do know of a path that leads into it. Thankfully, my current objective does not require me to wade through filth. That seems yours might.
Villain's just gonna look at her and kind of like eyes me, and she'll just say, "Well, that is fortunate for you." And she's gonna do like a little chuckle, like a not a self-deprecating chuckle, but more of just like a chuckle of like, well, I'm gonna have to wade through this.
A chuckle of realization. Yeah.
Yeah, she's just like, well, this is gonna happen. Okay.
We're gonna be knee deep in it. Then we have to just crack on.
So, out of character, what else do we know? So we were trying to find, because it's been a little while since the first session. So
Sure.
we're trying to find this person in the asylum, preferably alive, but we're trying to find them either way, and then bring them back.
Yes, it was mandatory for them to be alive as well.
Mhm.
That was one of the contract cards.
So we were trying to bring them back to Blackjack's. Other than that, do we know where they are located inside the asylum, or do we know anything like that? I don't remember if we have like a pinpoint of like, oh, you're supposed to look in the...
I don't.
No.
I don't think we know much more than the fact that it's a like not a recon, but like a
Infiltration.
Yeah, we're infiltrating
Subterfuge.
we're infiltrating the place to retrieve the package, which is a person. We know their prisoner number, and we know that they have to be alive. I think those were the 3 cards that we were given.
Do we
That
know how long they've been there?
No, actually.
Ah, bummer. I was gonna say that could give us an idea of where they are stationed, if there's a place that they put new,
Yeah.
new subjects. Okay, well, I think that'll be the first thing we do is we need to figure out where they are, and possibly any other information about them, like how long they've been there is a big one.
Is this something that you say out loud to everyone else?
Oh, yeah, I guess she'll think aloud as we're talking about the plan, and talk about like the best way to find them, because in Villain's mind, she wants the operation to be clean, so it's just kind of like get in there, find the person, take them, get out, and not have to wade through a bunch of bodies unless unless we have to.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Porsha as well if she's ever been in the asylum, as to obviously we've got a subject 1623. Is the 1623 relating to a location in the thing, and has she ever been in there into the asylum as well?
Good question.
I've never been inside the asylum myself, thankfully, but patient numbers generally don't refer to a location that they're stored, merely the number that they're given as they are entered into the asylum's records. From my understanding, there is a specific area in which most subjects are stored whilst not being worked on. But as to whether or not you'll find your subject in there, or perhaps in one of the many operating rooms, that is up to fate.
The way I see it, we have a couple options here then. After infiltrating, we can either search for a couple different locations. The first location could be that of a records or some sort of archive where we could find the prisoner number and find where they are being stored. And the other option is just try to randomly find the place where most prisoners are stored and see if we can suss it out from there, depending on what we run across first. Though finding some sort of records room could be very beneficial, especially if we can find. Well, especially if
I
the
was gonna
records
say,
room
try
has a
and-
map.
Yeah, if the records room has a map, we can obviously discover where everything is, and if not, we can try and interrogate one person. If there's someone on their own, we can maybe try and interrogate them or capture them and try and interrogate them. But we can see what when we go in. But we're going in through the sewers apparently. Honor, are you okay with that?
Villain is not okay with that, but she does what needs to be done.
Yes, gonna get a bit dirty.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not the most pleased about the prospect of it. My upbringing has been relatively sheltered from having to be knee deep in sewage, but I'm already here, so
Villain's just gotta kind of like regard the fine Mysterian silks of her like kunoichi outfit and just kind of like sigh the sigh that she always sighs, where she's like, well, I'm gonna have to deep clean these again.
Yeah.
More
Take
than
them to the dry cleaners.
more than just blood and gore this time. It's gonna be so much more.
Deep soil. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Cool. Yeah. So I guess we know where we're going. Can you show us how we get there? Do we need anything else? We don't need a boat, do we? We're not wading. We're not gonna. It's
We're
not like
pretty-
a deep sewer. It's just a pipe.
We're pretty
Just
close.
a sewer pipe, is
We're
it?
pretty close to the asylum, like Kale said earlier. We're like only a couple minutes walk.
Yes. The asylum has a ravine, if you could call it that, flanking its walls. The particular path I'll take you will take you across a small series of pipes that will lead to a larger sewage pipe which you can enter through. This pipe is spilling runoff from the asylum itself and from further up in metrics all the way down into this lake.
Lovely.
Neon duty. So, one thing we haven't kind of like fully wrapped up yet. I opened that chest.
Yes.
So there's a chest here. Villain, before she like does anything with the chest, she's gonna look to Porsha and then kind of like motion to the chest and just be like, "Is this yours?"
Some of the belongings are, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's gonna genuinely apologize because once again she sees this person as maybe not a friend but a colleague at least, and be like, she's just gonna say, apologies, we were just looking for information, and you have provided it with us. Thank you.
No apologies needed. I would have done the same in your position.
She's just gonna close the thing. She's standing in front of it. She's just gonna close it.
Porsha will walk over to the chest and will open it again, and she will retrieve a few items from it, and begin passing them to you guys.
Ooh.
So she will pass to, I guess, Villain, a small dark colored ball of some sort. You've seen these before. This is a smoke bomb.
Ooh. Adding smoke bomb to character sheet.
Yes.
Nice.
So with this, you can throw it against a hard surface, and from the point of impact, it will create a 20-foot diameter, I believe it was, cloud of smoke that will completely obscure anything. It's like a very thick white mist that comes out of these smoke bombs. She will then also pass out two, I guess, a bit more ornate-looking potion bottles. One to Azra, and the other towards Honor.
Okay, I'm going to ask her, do we know what these are? Are they both the same substances, or are they just empty bottles?
So just from glancing at it, for those listening, everyone is looking at their water containers, or in Bill's case, Canadian Dry,
Yeah.
or Canada Dry, whatever it is. The potion that you've been given, Azra, is a deep crimson-looking liquid that almost seems to have like a pearlescence to it.
Yeah.
And then the one that Honor has is a kind of a almost looks a little bit like beer colored, except maybe more yellow.
It is
which
just ginger ale.
It's
Just
just
ginger ale.
It does look a bit like ginger ale. And Porsha says,
Well,
I figured if a colleague of mine, that is, I'm assuming, loyal to the spider, is performing something down here in Southmaw, they're going to need all the help they can get. That potion that I've given you, as she looks over to you, Azra, without actually knowing your name.
Yeah.
That's a simple potion of healing. And the one I've
Okay.
given to you, Poncho Man, that there is a potion of antidote. Should hopefully cure any poisons that you may encounter while down here.
Ah.
Useful.
Right then. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeehaw.
Villain will say after Anna says yeehaw, Villain will say your assistance is appreciated and will be remembered.
Good.
Cool.
So, shall we head towards Southmaw?
Yeah.
Are you ready, or do you wish to take a rest here?
Ooh, I don't think we're out of I don't think we're very damaged from the last fight, right? We kind of cut those guys up pretty good.
I think at most there would be a little bit of damage on you, Villain.
I
and
took some damage, but I remember Anna healed.
I think you healed pretty much all of it.
Yeah.
And then Honor, I think you've lost a first level spell slot.
Yes. Yeah, I
From
think
memory.
what did I attempt to do? It was I tried to I forget what spell it was. Command, I think.
That was it. Yeah.
And they
Which
they
failed.
successfely evaded it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have
So if we
three,
rest,
I
we
have
get those
three
back.
first level.
A long rest.
So, yeah, it would have to be a long rest, which is
Yeah.
8 hours of basically very light activity or no activity.
Yeah.
So that's up to you guys if you wish to take that before heading into Southmaw.
I mean, we're in a safe house.
I would say so. Yeah.
You could use this opportunity to look more at the outside of Southmaw if you wish.
Yeah, sure. I guess we could take the opportunity to do that. That would heal me up completely, so we wouldn't have to worry about that. And yeah, sure.
Sure. It might be a little bit cramped in here, but we can all rest.
Great.
And if you wish to scout out Southmaw some more, I can point out some key locations that you might want to look out for.
Cool. Yeah, definitely we'll take that into advice and check out the key locations just so we can kind of get an idea. If not for infiltration, for exfiltration, we're gonna have to get out, and
Yes.
getting out
True.
getting out might not be as easy as getting in. So
Yeah.
All right. With this, Porsha opens the door and begins exiting the shack.
Cool.
So, who follows suit? Who stays in? Whatever you wanna do.
Yeah. I'll have a look.
Villain will look a little bit. Basically, she'll look enough to scout things out a little bit, but also to heal like the last 2 hit points. She'll rest enough to get
Yeah.
the healing the 2 hit points that she's missing.
You can
or whatever.
definitely just look and still rest at the same time. I mean, with long rests in D&D, you can do light activities.
Okay.
So things like reading and whatnot can be done. And yeah, just looking out is also possible.
But just for flavour purposes, I'm going to sort of perch my leg and just look over the ledge ominously towards the Southmaw, pure cinematic style. The hair flowing in the background as Porsha tells me various locations and how we can potentially get out if we need to. Essentially,
Sure.
So a nice little cinematic moment going on there.
It's scout the periphery.
Yeah.
Exactly that. That's
Yeah.
right.
Well, while
Even
Az
though
was doing
there's
that,
very little light in the cavern. There's lens flare somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Villain will just stand there next to him, just kind of arms crossed, just no
Yeah.
wind, nothing.
Oh, that'll be a sick picture.
So
Let's get that commission, baby. Anyway.
yeah. As you guys head out and make your way onto the roof itself, Porsha sort of walks over towards the edge and sits down on top of a series of pipes that are sort of running along the roof. And you see that they pull out a device that I don't think Villain would know, and I definitely don't think Honor would know, but Azra, you probably would. Pulls out a pair of what could only really be described as very techie looking binoculars.
Yeah.
And pulls them out and then passes them to whoever is closest to her. Could be Villain, I guess, at this point.
Sure. She's gonna I assume she can intuit like what they're used for. If she's not familiar with them, she'll just kind of like. I assume she's like familiar with like spyglasses and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, familiar with spyglasses, but these particular ones look very fancy, very techy.
If I know what they are, I'll just gesture like you can look through them to magnify this thing or whatever.
I think she'll just say something like almost like how to. She'll just be like, "Ooh, fancy," and she'll just kind of like put them and just kind of like immediately just like look through them.
This is pretty much premeditate.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic.
The binoculars in there are pretty much identical to this.
I could have sworn that she was holding a burger.
Oh yeah,
the burger, yes.
Absolute Big Mac.
Yes. So as you begin looking through, Porsha begins to point out to you various parts of Southmaw. As you're looking through as well, you see that the magnification on these is quite good, and as you click a wheel that is on the side, you see that the magnification goes in and out, so it has a zoom function. And there also appears to be some sort of targeting reticle in the center of your vision, which is quite odd, as you've never really experienced anything like this, a spyglass that has a reticle on it. But anyway, Porsha begins to point out various locations and begins to explain. The sewer system underneath Southmaw not only comes out in this ravine, but also on the other side, on that ravine, and also towards the docks as well. If you need a point of escape, I'd recommend probably coming back through the sewers, but it's up to you if you wish to try and climb the walls. And then she points your gaze to the building in the center, which is a very ornate, gothic-looking, two-story, large, almost mansion. That is definitely a lot more grandiose than the rest of the surrounding area. It sticks out like a sore thumb. She says, the top 2 floors are most likely going to be offices and places for the staff to stay. I think the main area you'd be looking for would be the basement. The basement area is most likely where you'll find experiments are done, research is done, and prisoners are kept. That would be the main area that you wish to go to. She then draws your attention towards the one of the, well, you can only see one bridge, but she does explain. There's 2 bridges into Southmaw, one on either side, the other one is on the other side. These bridges are heavily guarded, but they are opened, the gate that is, for the occasional cart that delivers living and dead subjects into Southmaw for further evaluation. I'd recommend staying away from these. These are probably going to be the hardest parts to infiltrate through. She then points your gaze towards the spotlights, which you can see are still very casually scanning, more so the immediate area around Southmaw. They seem to be scanning the ravine, the bridge, and the buildings that are skirting the edges of the ravine on the side that you are on.
Okay. Noted.
They don't seem to scout too often in the interior of the walls of Southmaw.
Okay.
There is the occasional sort of these large spotlights do operate on a swivel, and they do less frequently scan the interior sort of courtyard area or garden area, if you will. You do see that there is actually some plant life that is growing on the inside of these walls. You see the occasional like shrub, grass, very small tree. And Porsha says, these spotlights tend to operate on a bit of a pattern. If we were to get you across the ravine and into the pipe, we'll have to time it right. My estimates would probably say that you'd have to go one at a time to remain stealthy.
Oh,
I'll
God.
have to send you through one at a time across a series of pipes that will lead into the sewers. But we'll deal with that when we get there.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
So
All right.
Stealthy, hey?
That is all the locations that are pointed out to you by Porsha. And once you have all, if any of you else wish to take a turn on the binoculars, you can.
Yeah. Villain will remark something like, oh, the wonders of the cities of lights. And she'll kind of like pass the binoculars back to Porsha. And she'll be like, say something along the lines of just, maybe after this I'll need to stop by Black Tech Market and see if I can find some wonderful gadgets like these. And she's just going to hand it back to her.
Yes, they definitely sell quite the luxurious goods. Sometimes the lights in the city are so bright, people forget to look in the shadows. Hey, bright lights.
Yeah.
That's a good line. That's a good line, Kale.
That is a good line. Yeah.
So, after taking back the binoculars, you guys are free to rest for as long as you want. Porsha says that she is happy to escort you to the pipes, but she does mention that she will not enter Southmaw herself.
That's fair.
She's very adamant about that fact. She does not want to enter.
That's fair. I mean, if it
Yeah,
wasn't for the
that's fair,
contract,
yeah.
I wouldn't be going in either. So, you know.
Yeah.
All right. So, as you guys begin your rest, you sort of set up, I guess, a camp, if you will, inside the shack. Is there anything you guys wish to do during your rest?
I guess while I'm resting, I can technically pick different spells, hey? Like I can change my loadout
Yes.
because I'm a cleric,
can.
so
So those don't come into effect until the rest ends.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can change out your spells as you wish.
While Bill is changing his spells, I'm just going to go and piss in the sack, essentially. So,
Sure.
be right back.
This is a good time to have a break while you figure out what you wish to do.
I thought he was talking about the hempen sacks that we had. I'm like, that's just rude.
Yeah, Pete piss in our safe house.
Yep.
Go piss in the alleyway or something. Villain is still just she's gonna eye Anna's box very curiously.
I'm just like, while I'm thinking about my spells, I'm just gonna just gonna hold it.
So do you guys get some sleep as well during your rest, or do you want to stay awake for the entire thing?
No, I conk out for sure.
Sure.
Villain will get a nap in,
What currently have?
All right. So, Azra, is there anything in particular you'd like to do during this rest? So Honor is having a sleep, Villain's having a bit of a nap.
Don't think there is anything I need to prepare or anything else, so I'm just going to be chilling out.
All right. During this time as well, Porsha does lock the door as well.
Yeah.
So it seems like when you guys arrived and it was unlocked, she was actively within the area and was basically just not inside the shack. So
Yeah.
I will say as well that she was hidden off to the side as she saw you approach, and Yeah, nobody decided to roll a perception check, so you never saw her until she was looking at you through a gap in the wall.
Brilliant. Just waltz straight on in and start searching and the chests and everything.
Yeah, when she started having her stuff rummaged through, she's like, okay, I need to find out who these people are.
Yeah, it was I did the knock, so I was like, hopefully, yeah, whatever. It's good.
It definitely helped. Yeah. So it definitely, I will say, from what she has told you about her current mission, she has reasons to be skeptical of spider operatives.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So she was definitely just sort of testing you to see where your allegiance lied.
Yeah, I mean, Villain understands. Once she knew who she was, basically. Right.
All right. So you guys all take a long rest.
Villain will
Anna.
eat. Oh, go ahead. Villain's gonna eat a little.
No, you can say what you're gonna do.
She's getting a little snack while Anna does weird, crazy stuff.
Anna, as you sleep,
I'm gonna offer out some cheese if anyone wants some cheese. Still a little bit left.
Hang on, is that Wensleydale?
Yeah.
Villain will take a little piece of the cheese and then stick it on like a nice ration cracker and then eat it like cheesy crackers.
Oh, lovely.
You'll know she eats it very like properly, like delicately.
Ladylike.
Very tidily, yeah.
Honor, as you drift off into unconsciousness, the darkness takes you of sleep. Normally your sleeps, previous to acquiring this box, were calm. But since acquiring this box and whatever is contained within, things have only gotten more unrestful. You feel your consciousness leave your body as you drift into the land of dreams. You feel a presence that surrounds you. At first it feels frightening, but familiar. And then you feel it almost embrace you. And you feel a sense of calm to an extent. It's an uneasy calm, but it's there. You suddenly have a vision pop into your mind. A very hazy one. You see Southmaw, the outside of it. Then you feel this burning, dark flame that begins to pierce the vision. And you see that it is beneath Southmaw.
Okay.
And you feel two of these flames begin to split from the one. You feel one on one side underneath Southmaw and one on the other side of Southmaw. And you feel this sudden, intense moment of excitement, adrenaline, and bloodlust as your vision begins to focus on these two dark burning flames before you snap to and you wake up.
I like bolt upright on the like ratty couch or floor, I suppose. That I'm
Floor at this point, yeah, it's sleeping on top of the sacks.
Yeah, you just pulled
like,
out
one of
a
the
bunch of the
sacks
sacks. You made like a bird nest, right? You just got a bunch of sacks.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So that's interesting. That's a vision that I was. I don't know that I'm going to tell my group about it because I think it's something that I have to sort of parse through on my own as well.
So, was Ona having a restful sleep, or was he like restless? Was he moving around, muttering to himself, making sounds, or was he just like stone out?
Seemed very still.
Okay.
Didn't seem out of the ordinary. If anything, maybe. I mean, people do move around in their sleep. Seems like he didn't do too much of that.
Okay. So it wasn't.
Other than that,
Yeah, not any more so than
it
normal.
wasn't as if he was thrashing in his sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
no, the tent, get it away from me. Not again, Hazard. But yes,
Okay.
you all eventually come back to consciousness, rested, spell slot returned, the one that was spent. Hit dice, if any were spent. I don't think there was. But if
Right.
any were, half of them have been regenerated.
Cool.
Which I'm sure is more than enough, so you guys are probably all fully good to go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Well,
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Yeah, we ready to hit the road, hit the sewer, the pipe.
Hit the sewer.
Don't hit
Yep.
the pipe. It's too early.
No, don't hit the pipe.
All right. So, as you guys are all ready, you gather your things. You all exit the shack. Porsha does close it behind her and locks the door. And then you all make your way down the ladder. Which, by the way, the ladder that you had to climb up was about... I think I had it written here. It was about 20 feet high.
Okay.
Right.
So fairly high up, but you guys all make your way back down and onto the streets and alleys of the shantytown. So sort of following Porscha's lead, she does keep you guys as far away from hustle and bustle as possible. She's not actively stealthing, but she is definitely trying to keep a low profile. After what feels like maybe 5 to 10 minutes, as you are moving a little bit slower in parts, eventually you all duck into an alleyway. About 100 or so feet from you, you can see the walls of Southmaw itself. And then the path itself actually ends about 20 feet from where you're standing, in a sheer drop. Porsha sort of gestures you all to hustle into the alleyway. And you can see now the occasional flicker of a spotlight passing over your general area. And she quietly peeks around to the corner off the edge, looking around. Alright, we'll have to wait a moment to get the pattern, but she gestures down to her. There's a small drop that you'll have to drop down. There is a series of pipes that are jutting out from this side of the ravine that make their way over to the other. And you can all sort of quickly look over to see that there's a mishmash of like different pipes in different sections of this ravine that you can see that extend from the shantytown across the ravine. And this particular section, you see quite a few pipes, which looks to be usable as a makeshift walkway. And then on the other side of the ravine, just off when these pipes actually interject with the ravine wall where Southmaw sits, there is a large, rusty pipe that has a mesh grating on the end of it that is just spewing noxious-looking liquid into the ravine below. You can hear almost like a waterfall sound from the water coming through. It doesn't look particularly nice. But you do see that on the side of the pipe where the smaller walkway of pipes is, there is an opening that you guys could go through if you were to cross the pipes and then into the bigger pipe.
All right.
Well, I'll have to send you across one by one. I'll tell you all when to go. But best of luck. This is as far as I'll take you.
All right.
All right.
Thank you
Okay.
for your assistance up till now. I'm not looking forward to this, but thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sure I'll hear of your escapades if everything hits the fan. I'll do what I can to quell any worries that may occur should something happen, but I'll be very limited in my capacity to do so. Just whatever you do, please don't bring people back to our safe house.
Oh,
Mm.
you don't have to worry about that.
Right. So
One way or another,
yes,
we won't be returning to the safe house.
good. I wish you well. And if you ever encounter the lynx, please kill him for me if I don't get to him first.
I will. I promise you that.
All right. So
Oh, damn.
she
Villain.
leans
God
out
damn.
and continues watching.
Villain will take the first go.
Yes. Who wants to go first?
Because she's probably the fastest by, well, I mean, out of game, she has cunning action dash, so I can move like double speed where you guys can't. I can move or triple speed because everyone can move double speed, but I can move another burst after that. So she'll take the first go just to see how
Very much
it
don't
goes.
have that.
Yeah. So she'll take the first go just to see how it goes, and then so you guys can see the path that she takes. So it's a little easier for you.
All right.
Yeah.
Who wishes to go after villain? So what's the I guess marching order to go across this ravine?
I guess I should probably go second.
I think
I
so,
don't
yeah.
know- Yeah, I don't know what my actual internal reasoning for that is, but it just feels right. I think I should just do it. So,
Let's say you got me behind and villain in front, just in case something happens. We can try and catch
Yeah.
you or whatever.
Yeah. What is the how long is the interval between when we go? Is it like 10 seconds or is it like a minute or more?
Porsha had said her estimates, because it can vary, somewhere between 20 to 40 seconds.
Okay. Okay.
So you will have some time to go across, but trying to be stealthy about it will mean that you will go a bit slower. Unless you want to sprint across, that's up to you. But you gather that would probably make some noise and might alert people.
Yeah.
So while the spotlight won't be on the sort of pipes as you cross them, you still don't want to make noise.
Right.
So it is
think
fairly
it is-
dark here as well.
I think it's in everyone's best interest if I don't rush and I also don't sneak, because my sneaking is bad. So,
But these
I guess-
so these are like pipes that we have to walk across, like a balancing thing. Is that right?
Yeah, so there's enough where you can have, like... I'm not sure if you've seen before in, like, certain factories or buildings where there's, like, a series of pipes that will be horizontal, kind of
Yeah.
strapped together.
Yeah.
There's, like, points where that is, and then points where pipes will, like, turn and deviate a bit. It seems fairly straightforward. It doesn't look like it would be super challenging to cross. But you'd have to kind of watch your step.
Yeah. Okay. That's right then.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Well-
I'll go second, and
And then as with third.
Yep. Yeah.
All right.
That's good.
So, Porsha keeps an eye out. And then eventually you watch as she leans back and you see the spotlight begin to look over the area that you're in. And then as it passes, she goes, right, now. And
I
then
go.
gestures to villain. All right,
Yeah.
go.
Right, go. Yep. I go.
So, roll a stealth check, unless you're sprinting or whatever.
I'll be moving quickly, but also quietly. So yeah, I can do the stealth.
So if you want to do it quietly, stealth check.
Yeah, and I will use if it matters at all, just to be very very quickly, and also to show off a little bit. I will use my cunning action to dash, so I'm also going very quickly,
Sure.
stealthily and very
Alright.
quickly.
Let's go.
That-
Let's see what you get.
That is a 12 plus my stealth. It's 11. I have 11 stealth. So that is a 23.
All right. So
It's pretty good.
as villain drops down from this ledge And with but a slight patter of feet on metal, you watch as she quickly, almost dashing in a way, makes her way across these pipes. You see that they do sort of jiggle very slightly from the weight, although Villain is very light, before Villain makes her way to where the large sewer pipe sort of sits next to these smaller pipes. And there is kind of like a little spot where you can sit behind, so you get the feeling that you won't have to jump into the pipe to hide from the spotlight.
Cool. Yeah, she'll be there, and she'll kind of like wait there and keep an eye out for Anna, just to see if she needs to help him at all.
Alright, so then, waiting once more, Porsha keeping an eye out.
What do I have that could even
She
help?
ducks back in, the spotlight crosses, and then she gestures to you and says, "Alright, you'll go. Honor."
Okay.
Alright.
So
If you are trying to do it quietly, regardless of your speed, you will still have to
Yeah.
roll a stealth check.
okay.
You do have disadvantage on that.
I have disadvantage on it, and it's a -1 anyway.
Oh
no.
2 natural 20s, come on.
No, it's fine. He just needs to roll like a 15 and an 18. It's all good.
Yeah. You know what?
Unless-
I'm not gonna risk it. I'm just gonna go across normally. I'm not gonna try to stealth because I think I know as Anna that is a bad idea.
Okay.
That I'm going to mess it up and get 2 nat ones.
You'll get a,
So,
you'll get a
okay,
20 and a nat one.
Yeah, that'll feel even better. Okay, so to get across just normally, would that be athletics?
No, so
Dexterity?
this is balanced enough where you can walk across just carefully. It's not something that would require a skill check per se.
Okay.
So, as you
Yeah,
walk
that's how I'm
across,
gonna do it.
as you sort of go down, make your way down from this little drop onto the pipes, and begin to walk across, you hear the groaning of these pipes under your weight. These pipes, while it does make a bridge, it's not meant to make a bridge, and you do hear a groan, like of like the pipes just beginning to bend under your weight of your equipment.
Yeah.
Oh.
Slowly walking across, a very slight jingle from your armor. Doesn't seem to alert the guards. Seems that their attention lies elsewhere for now.
Villain will reach out her hand as Anna approaches and just kind of like motion him to where she is.
I grab Villain's hand, get onto solid ground, and just whisper under my breath, "Oh, thank Christ!"
A Villain will whisper back, "Who's Christ?"
Thanks, Soul.
yeah, that's fair.
And it's at this point, as you reach the other end, that you realize why the guards probably had their attention drawn elsewhere. As you look over towards the road that leads into Southmaw on this side, where there is a bridge, you see that there is a cart currently at the gates, and you see that there are some guards currently talking to the people that are sort of pulling the cart. And you see some of them inspecting the cart as they seem to be wanting to enter Southmaw's walls. So currently attention is drawn to the bridge, but for how long you don't know. There is still the spotlights checking elsewhere while this is happening. But it seems like just not making too much noise was enough. But
Sweet.
at this point, the spotlight comes around once more. Porsha leans back in as it passes before saying to Ezra, "Alright, good luck."
Cool.
Gestures to you.
When the pipe made the cracking noise, did I hear it? Did I hear it groaning under the
You
weight
did
of?
hear some groaning, yes.
Right. Before I run across it, can I inspect it to see if it's safe to do so? Can I roll a check on the pipe to see if I can see
Sure.
any
I'd say roll investigation on this because it's something
Alright.
you already see. You're just checking the quality of it.
Okay, so it's just intelligence. Okay, 1.
Looks safe to you.
I mean, looks precarious to an extent. The pipes
It's all good. Let's
The
go.
pipes are definitely old and rusty.
Yeah.
Sure are some
Okay.
pipes.
All right. Well, if Honor can get over it, he's wearing a full heavy armor. I'm just gonna go normal pace across it as well to get out of the way of the lights.
So not actively stealthing, not sprinting, just normal pace.
No, I'll just try and get over it as quick as I can.
All right. So, Azra, as you inspect for a moment, hesitate, but then think to yourself, it's probably okay.
Yeah.
You climb down this short drop onto the pipes and begin
I don't like
making your
where
way.
this is going.
Making your way across the pipes. You do hear them groan even more as the pipes bend.
Oh no.
You hear a slight, crack as one of them kind of settles into place, which startles you for a moment.
Yeah.
But they seem to hold. And you make your way across to the other side where your party members are waiting.
That's right then.
Azra just crapped himself a little bit.
Yeah. Literally just. I was
You
like,
thought I
oh
was
no,
going
this
to
is
make it
it.
drop on you, huh?
This is it. I am
was-
dead.
Yeah, I was gonna
Depending how
say
you
that
did
would
that
be
and the speed at which you went, it's a possibility.
that would have been quite the detour.
Well,
But
I do have this if you need to roll up a new character as, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we'll do that. Brilliant.
But
Okay,
Okay, we're off. We're across.
yeah,
God.
very good.
glance over and see Porsha, who's currently sees that you've all made it across safely.
Cool. Villain will. Thieves can't. Thank you. To her.
All right. Porsha nods back, and with a turn of her tattered dark cloak, makes her way back into the streets of the shantytown.
Cool.
All right. So you guys are
Okay.
now on your own.
Yeah.
Right in front of you,
Mhm.
there is a rusted hole in the side of this pipe. As you glance in, it is very dark inside here. There's absolutely no light. And there is a stream of very nasty looking liquid. What do you do?
Unlike the first time where Villain volunteered to run across the pipes, she is not going to volunteer to go into the sewer first.
I feel like it's very likely that I get voluntold. That
she's
Anna
gonna,
gets voluntold to go first.
she's gonna look at between Azra and Anna, and she'll just make a gesture. She'll like after you, like.
I'll just say, Honor, you can see in the dark,
Yeah.
right?
Do we know that Anna
I
can see in the
sure
dark?
can. I think
Uh,
I've mentioned it. I don't know if it's actually come up yet. To be completely honest, though.
I remember
yeah.
once I did mention that you could see ahead, but I don't know whether or not you've actually told anyone that.
Yeah. I feel like at this point we're far enough in that I would probably be like, well,
Yeah.
I can see more. I have
Yeah.
dark vision, so like I should go first because I think I can tell that both of them look in and they can't really see much, and I can just be like, oh, yeah, okay, follow me.
Yeah.
Unless I see something very obviously other than just the sludge and excrement, I assume. That would prevent me from wanting to do that. I feel like I probably am just like, yep, let's go.
Yeah. After you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Honor, as you sort of make your way through this opening, the first thing that hits you is, before you make your way in, you smell this liquid. It is even more rancid than the normal waters that you have experienced around the pits. It is very chemically smelling. It smells of rot, decay, and death. The first thing that
Nice.
hits you as you enter the pipe is how cold this liquid is. It is absolutely freezing. It is not pleasant whatsoever. It's not moving too fast, but you feel your feet find purchase on the bottom of this sewer. It feels slick, sticky. There's debris of some kind in the water. This is the most disgusting liquid you have ever put yourself into.
Oh god.
It's a good thing I have a high constitution, otherwise I'd probably be thrown up.
You do feel a little bit ill just from the circumstances, but you know you must push on.
Villain is glad that she's wearing perpetually a mask. She's perpetually wearing a mask. Like,
it does help a little bit. Not much, but a little bit.
That, and also she's like very glad that none of this has any chance of like getting into her mouth. She's just like, I have this mask.
Well, we'll see what happens.
I have this mask.
Oh no.
Alright.
Definitely don't like that.
No.
So, who goes in after Honor?
Honor, is it safe to go in there? What's in there?
Come on in. The water's gross.
I will say that with your dark vision, you do see that the tunnel does continue straight for some time, and you don't see anything else.
Yeah. So I'll say like, this is as bad as it gets currently, from what I can see. So I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah, I'll walk in after then. I'll walk in through it.
All right.
Through the rusty hole.
Azra,
Cool.
you feel this disgusting liquid begin brushing against your legs as you step into it. It's not too deep. It's maybe like it's below your knee, I would say.
Does it restrict our normal movement? They have to wade through it to a certain degree.
You feel like it would restrict it a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Cool.
it's almost like when you're at the beach and you're trying to like run out into the water.
Okay.
Yeah, you can walk through it pretty okay, but if you tried to run, it would be not.
It'd be that like
right.
that kind of
Yeah.
like
That's
Yeah,
run.
you like kind of have to bound.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Villain will follow suit, and she will kind of like, you know how, what is it called? How cars get behind other cars and get into like the slipstream, so they don't have as much stuff. She's gonna get behind Azra, so he takes most of the brunt.
Brilliant.
All right.
Lovely.
Yeah, that checks out.
That is that definitely works. All right.
Brilliant.
Let me get up my little map I have here of the area that you guys are in. All right. I will put my notes to the side. All right, there we go. All right. So, you guys are now inside the sewers. So, you guys continue forward? Because currently, the only person that can really see is Honor.
Yeah, we're just following Anna, the crazy box man.
Honor's in front right now.
Yeah. Obviously, we've come to the conclusion that I am not a super perceptive person, but since we're literally just like looking in a pipe, I'm gonna continue on until something other than a pipe and disgusting liquid appears.
I think so.
Right. So, as you guys continue further into this pipe, Azra and Villain, you lose any perception of anything. It becomes pitch black.
God.
Honor, you can still see ahead of you. And the only reason that Azra and Villain are really able to continue is because you can kind of feel a bit of the splashing as you guys wade through these disgusting waters.
I do have a explorer's pack, but I guess it does have torches in it. But I guess would I not be able to see to light the torch at this point?
I don't know if you want to light.
I wouldn't want to light a torch.
You want to light anything?
I mean,
That's
it's up to
true.
you guys.
It
You can
smells like chemicals.
you can
Yeah.
try and ascertain whether or not it's safe to do so. That's up to you. So.
Is that not a good idea then lads? No.
I just the way that it was described as being overtly chemically, I guess I don't want to play outside of character too much. I'm able to see just fine, so I'm not even worried about it.
I'm gonna put this in
I'm just like
character.
that.
All right.
from Villain's point of view, if Azra starts pulling out like a flint and tinder and starts trying to light, she's gonna stop and move back a little bit in case it explodes and nukes him. Like, she's just gonna be like, wait a minute. So.
All right.
Yeah,
So-
I'm just a bit uncomfortable being in pitch black. That's all.
So
But
Azra, you want
there's
to
a lot-
light a torch?
I will attempt to light a torch. Yeah, I'm going to say to everybody that I'm going to try and light a torch because I can't see anything.
Villain's gonna take a few steps back, so in case it explodes in his face, she does not get burnt as well. And then if it works,
Anna,
there'll be light, so she can see where he is.
yeah.
Win-win.
Yep.
At this point, Anna is like just focused on the path ahead and also not vomiting. So I just don't have. I'm not paying attention to really anything currently.
All right.
Cool.
So, Azra, you pull out a torch. Get
Yep.
your tinderbox.
Yep.
Spark. Torch ignites fine. You do
All
not
right.
explode.
Okay.
Oh, baby. That's right then.
I mean, you do notice that like the flame, if anything, is maybe like a little bit brighter, and you hear a little bit more crackling. So maybe there is something that's like very slightly flammable, or if there is anything flammable in here gas-wise, it's very minor.
It's not pure
Not,
methane.
No, it's not pure methane. No. It's
Cool,
all
so at
sorts
least-
of runoff.
Great. That's right then. So at least me and Villain can see what's around us, and then Bill can see the
Yes.
actual path. Okay.
Yeah,
That's right then.
she'll see that Azra doesn't explode and is holding the torch, and she'll just be like, "Oh, lovely," and then she'll just walk back up.
Yeah. Let's trot along. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, as you guys continue forward, it's not too far up ahead that you actually see that there is a deviation from the current straight line that you are heading in. And as you approach this deviation, it's basically an offshoot. And just judging from the direction that the current is flowing in, water is coming from this direction. And based on what Porsha has told you, the water in the sewers under Southmaw flows from east to west. West being the location where the docks are. So it seems like this is further into the underground rather than to Southmaw itself.
Okay.
So do you continue forward, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
I think
Alright.
so.
Continuing forward a bit further, you come to another turn off. This one goes to the right, but also just next to it, you see that there is a little alcove that has some rungs of a ladder built into the side of it that seem to go up into what would be the ceiling of this sewer. And you see that there is a circular hatch of some kind that is directly above. So you can basically either go straight, you can take a right, or you can try go up this ladder.
How far have we traveled? Like, what's the estimate?
Not that far.
Not
So
that far.
it's probably no more than I'd say like 100 meters.
Because our goal is to get
Or maybe
into
like
that
150.
mansion area.
Hmm.
And how far was the mansion area from like the front gate?
It was fairly close.
Okay.
Judging based on distances, you'd probably say this could definitely lead into
Okay.
Southmaw, but it's hard to tell because you are not sure as to how big the basement section of Southmaw is. You've
Right.
only seen the top. So
Um,
while you
worth
think
just
maybe it
maybe-
wouldn't reach into the building itself, it might reach into the basement.
okay.
So was it worth maybe checking, like just poking our head out, sort of thing, just
Yeah.
seeing where we are?
That's what I was thinking too. We can at least kind
Yeah.
of do that thing where you just kind of like peek out a little bit, and then
very
Yeah.
Scooby Doo.
I was thinking
Yeah.
I was thinking Ninja Turtles, but yeah, it's the same thing.
That works too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So who wishes to try go up the ladder and open the hatch?
I guess I can because I'm the sneakiest. I think.
Mm.
Um,
Okay.
So I'll do that. Yeah, I'll climb. I'm also very dexterous, so I'm pretty stable on the ladder. So
Yeah, I'm still holding the torch anyway.
that's fair.
No
That's fair.
worries. Let me just bring this thing up. Where
Question:
this actually leads. Yeah.
how much light does the torch cast up into the latch? Like if
Oh.
my
yeah.
question is, if I open the lid, is it enough light that the light's just gonna spill out and alert everyone to the presence, or if it doesn't reach up that high?
I'll just move back. I'll just if you're gonna
It's
do that.
about 20 feet of light. I would say that this is probably about maybe 10 feet up. So there's a
Okay.
chance that like it could. Depends if the part above the hatch is dark or if it's lit, then it might not show through. But
Yeah, Villain will just say, "Hey, Astra, hide the light a bit," and you can block the light with your body or something.
Yeah, I'll just move 10 feet back or something.
We'll just throw a tent on it or something. It worked last time.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
throw a tent on it.
all right. So you climb up the ladder, and you see now that the hatch is like how to describe it? It's like a circular hatch that you would find on like a submarine, I guess.
Like a portcullis kind of thing.
Yeah. And you do see that there is a mechanism to open it from down below. So you go ahead and slowly turn. It's a bit tough, but you do manage to sort of jolt it loose. It seems like this probably hasn't been opened in a while. And you very slowly, it does make a bit of a slight screeching noise, but hopefully not too much. And you go ahead and you crack it open and you lift it up. Peering out, you see that, at least from what you can see, the way that the hatch opens, directly ahead, you are in a very small room of some sort. The walls are made of like smooth stone, and there is a door that is a bit in front of you and to the left. It's maybe like 5-10 feet in front and to the left. It seems like you're in a rectangular room.
What is the floor made out of? Is it like a dirt floor, cobblestone?
This is a stone floor of some kind, like a polished stone.
Okay. I'm trying to ascertain if this is likely a basement or something else. Okay.
It is dark in here, by the way.
Okay.
So very little light is bouncing up from the torch in the sewers, and you're just sort of gleaming. You can see, though, that underneath the door, there is some light. So this room is not lit, but the one past the door is, whatever it is.
I think it's worth checking out. So I will very, very quietly move like the lid to the latch aside so we can get out. So I'll do that very, very slowly.
It does have like a bit of a hinge, so you pull it back.
Yeah.
And then, so can I see anything? Is it completely pitch black like the sewer? Or is it like a dim light?
It's pretty dark. Like, you're just glimpsing very key things about the room just from the light underneath the door and a tiny bit that's reflecting from below.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back and like halfway down the ladder, and I'm just gonna reach out, and I'll be like, Asra, a torch. And,
Yeah, well, I'll give you the torch. Yeah.
Okay, and then I'll go back up, holding the torch in one hand as I go, and then I'll kind of like peer out again now with the torch.
All right, no worries. As this is happening, Azra, normally the sewers, from what you've experienced the little time you've been in here, you just hear running water. You hear squelching? Some sort of rippling of water further into the sewers. It's hard to determine whether or not it's directly in the straight line that you guys were heading or if it's from the turnoff, but you hear some sort of weird noise or movement of something.
So is that like behind me, or is that in front of Honor?
So it's, if Honor is
know?
still sort of facing the direction that you guys were traveling in initially, it's either further ahead or on the turnoff, somewhere down there.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So I assume I don't I don't see anything.
Roll the perception check.
Perception. Who got it? Boo, boo.
Me as well or not?
Yeah, you can
That
roll it as well.
is
All right.
9 plus 4, so 13.
10 plus 6, 16.
Okay. You don't see anything. Neither of you see anything. It sounds like it's directly ahead. It sounds like it might be getting louder. It's very hard to tell. If this is a moving thing, it is moving very slow, whatever it is.
Oh, he's
It
get up
could
this
be-
ladder. This is not good.
It could be some person, creature. It could just be a large clump of junk coming down the pipes. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, sounds nasty either way.
Yes.
Does,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do I hear it at all?
Probably not something that I...
Or am I too far up with the ladder? Because
I
I'm
would say you're probably too far up, and with the
Okay.
crackling of the torch as well, it's kind of hard to
That's
hear.
fair. That's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Well-
a very subtle noise.
So yeah, I guess Azra and I will kind of look at each other once we both sort of realize that we're hearing the same thing, and
Yeah.
I'll just be like, "Want to go up?"
I think we should probably go up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a fair shout. So,
All right.
So
So,
And even just wait maybe just wait above the porthole to see if the noise passes by where we were originally, perhaps, or whether it just keeps going.
all right.
But yeah,
So-
we'll climb up.
You guys all climb up. You are now in a very small room. It's probably 10 foot by 5 foot, like a rectangular room. And there is simply a door in this room. It seems like the only thing in this room, if you were to have entered it from the outside, is this hatch.
and there's light coming out from underneath the door.
Yes, from underneath the door.
I'm gonna hand the torch back to Azra.
Yep.
And I would like to inspect the door.
Sure. What are you inspecting it for? If
I would
it's
like- I
locked
don't-
or traps or.
Yeah, I don't suspect it's trapped, but it's probably good to check anyway. So I'm gonna check for that, and then see what happens, I guess, after that. But I would also like to see if it's locked, and also like to do the whole kind of thing where if there's light coming from underneath it, I would like to kind of like get up to it, see if I can hear anything coming from the other side. But before I do that,
Sure.
I definitely want to see if it's trapped or anything that it's safe to like, get close to.
Sure. All right. Roll a investigation check.
Ready. As a 12 plus investigation 2. That's a 14.
14. Doesn't seem trapped. The door is locked. But listening, you hear. Well, actually, if you're going to listen, this would be perception. This part. So if you want to roll a perception as well.
Yeah, so Villain will kind of like crouch down a little bit, and she's gonna okay, I guess I should ask. Is the lock just kind of like one of those just keyhole locks, kind of like the old-timey doors with the keyhole lock?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it has a keyhole in it, so you can attempt to look through that if you wish.
Yeah, she's gonna come down to it and then simultaneously like listen through the keyhole while kind of like peering through, trying to
Sure.
get the whole vibe on
The
what's
whole
going on.
vibe.
Yeah,
yeah.
get the vibe.
All right. Perception check.
Oh, that's not great. That's a 9 on the dice. Perception is a 3, so that's a 12. I used all
Okay.
my good rolls at the beginning.
Yes. So, listening, you hear like a gentle hum. Like a that just seems constant. You hear some footsteps that seem to echo. You hear a little bit of chatter as well. Some talking. It's in common. You hear what sounds to be 2 people. It sounds like it's coming from the right of the door.
Okay.
And you hear that it doesn't seem to be getting closer, and then you have a look through the keyhole, and you see directly ahead of you is a long hallway. You see that it is lit by electric lights, which you now think is probably the source of the hum. You see that there are a few doors sort of a bit further down the hallway, and it's hard to see, but glancing towards the right, you do see that there is it's like one of those sliding prison doors in a way, where there's like lots of bars across it. And that seems to be the direction where you hear some talking. And then having a look to the left, you see just wall. So it seems like there's a hallway that sort of ends at a turn, and you guys are at the turn.
Is the construction similar to the room? Is it just like stone walls, stone floor kind of deal?
Yep, very similar. If anything, a bit more, I guess, nicer looking.
Okay.
Like a bit more care's been put into it, but it's all very stone, very, I guess, hospital-like, but yeah, very, very just like plain in a way.
Okay. So we're
Is there anything
essentially
else in this room that we're in as well?
No, it's
Anything else
just the hatch.
Yeah, so basically this is just like a sewer access.
Right.
Definitely seems like it.
Yeah, especially since Villain has seen this room and actually seen outside. This is definitely like sewer access to a larger facility. And so she's gonna turn back. She's gonna turn back and she's gonna go like do this to them, and then get close to Azra and Ona, and then whisper really quietly. Basically all the information that you just told me. That it seems to be like we're in the right place. It seems like we're in some sort of facility, much larger facility. I hear voices out to the right, and then she kind of just will say everything else, you know. And then she'll motion to Azra and tell him to. We probably don't need to cut it yet, but we won't need the torch anymore, because the rest of it's lit up, and the torch will just give us away.
Cool. Yep. I'll put out the torch then.
All right. So torch put out. All right.
What do we want to? How do we proceed then? Do you think? What do we want to do? Do you want to try and sneak out the door and try and peer around the corner or something?
So the voices are to the right.
Yes.
And it sounded like they were close, right? They're like pretty close.
It sounded echoey, like it's some distance away.
Okay. So they're not like 5 feet from the door, just chatting by the water.
No,
cooler
it definitely
kind of thing.
doesn't seem like it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The door didn't seem to be trapped. It is locked, so I will need to open it. So
Yeah, it seems like a fairly simple lock.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be too hard, but
okay, so Villain's just gonna tell that to the guys and be like, just give me a second, I'll open up the door, and then she's going to pull out her ornate thieves' tools, and I would like to attempt to open up the lock.
sure. Go ahead and roll.
Or to pick it. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a 18 plus 8, I think was what we said it was. It was just dexterity plus proficiency. So
Yeah. So
quite a lot. 26 or something.
one of the easier locks that you have unlocked. With a simple click, the door is now unlocked.
Sweet. And then I guess I'm gonna see how much sound the door makes before I just throw it open.
Yes.
I'll attempt to open it and push a little bit of pressure on it. And does it go like, or is it more of like a quiet?
So it opens inwards.
Oh, it's okay.
So you'll have to pull it back towards you.
Okay,
but
that's
as
easier.
you- As you test the door, doesn't really seem to make a noise.
Cool.
Seems to swing fairly freely.
Cool. Yeah. Gonna do that. Open it up very, very slowly, and then kind of like, do the whole like peer out just a little bit to see. Is there? So I know there's a direction straight ahead, but to the left and
Yes.
right, what do we see now?
So to the left was just wall.
Okay,
so the path doesn't go there. But to the right, you see a bit better view now. You see this sliding sort of prison bar door that is currently open. And from the quick glance that you see, it seems like another hallway. However, you see that there are... you can glimpse some of them from this point, but you see that there are cells, almost like prison cells, I guess. And they have just simple bars to keep whatever is in there in.
What is in there? Do we see anyone in there? And also, are the cells numbered?
You don't see any numbering on these cells. You can't really see too much from this angle. You'd have to probably approach the cell and have a look. But just from what you can glance, there seems to be all manner of filth in these cells.
Great.
You see spatterings of blood, some brown substance. You even see, you just catch a glimmer of white of bone that is in these cells. You can only really see like one from here.
All right. Well. Okay. Villain will come back inside. And be and tell the guys we have two options. We basically have straight ahead, or we have to the right. To the right is where I heard the voices. So if we wanted to remain completely stealthy, straight ahead would be the option. If we wanted to, find some people to interrogate, right would be the path to go. And she's just gonna see what Ona and Azra think.
Yeah. So I mean, we're looking for a guy, right? We're looking for a prisoner. And I open my box like very slightly to look at the specific contract cards that I still have. I'm like, yeah, so we're looking for this prisoner. You said there's like jail cells.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we just go check those out?
She'll tell you what she saw. So like most of them are pretty bad. they're just all like they're like pretty bad.
Yeah, but do we think that they would be keeping him somewhere nicer? Probably not.
Well, what she's getting at is she doesn't see anyone living yet. But yeah, we can.
So the cells are just full of. Well, you haven't seen any beings in the cells yet. It's just
Not
like
yet.
blood and.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Anna, since you can, for some reason, see in the dark, perhaps you. Well, you're not really the stealthiest.
I can see in the dark because I follow the light.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I can take a peek if you're feeling that.
Yeah, but let's kind of like ease out and check it out.
Yeah. So I'll do the same sort of very gingerly open the door, peek my head out, and I will attempt to perceive rather.
Sure. Roll a perception check.
My perception is, if I remember, pretty good. Where is it? Oh, yeah, +4. So 17.
17. All right.
With
how far do you want to peek out? Is the question.
I'll probably peek out like to the bottom of my nose.
Okay,
yeah,
like a bit more than what
like
Villain
I'll
did,
like
or...
fully like Scooby Doo my way.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Having a look, you see much of the same thing that Villain saw. This section to the right is also lit by electric lights. Just think of like those there's like a fluorescent tube type lights, whatever they're called.
I didn't ask. Are the cells lit? I assumed they're not.
The cells are not.
That's why I told. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Any light that goes into them is from the hallway that they are like touching.
Okay, cool.
So having a look out, see pretty much the same thing that Villain saw, but you hear the talking. It sounds to be getting closer, and you begin to hear footsteps, as if footsteps are coming towards your direction.
Oh yeah, that's no bueno. yeah, basically the second that I hear that, I can't make out anything that they're saying. It just like idle chatter, basically.
You hear it does sound like idle chatter, but you hear them talking about. We went through quite a lot of those specimens, didn't we? I've heard that we've got another shipment coming in today. And then
we did watch that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically the second I hear that, I not necessarily scramble, but I pull myself back in,
You're like,
close the door a little
Alright.
bit. Listen.
Alright.
There's some people coming around. I don't know what we want to do about that.
I reckon we should just close the door and look through the keyhole and see if they pass by, and if they turn their backs to us, we can just try and grab them and pull them back into the sewer room.
What if they open the door?
We could lure them in also.
Devil's
if they walk
advocate.
past us, we could make noises, and they're like, "Oh, what's that?" Walk in, and suddenly, bang, grab them.
If they
okay.
if they
I don't hate
open the
that.
door, it is very unfortunate for them. Let's put it that way.
It is exactly.
Alright. You hear the footsteps get louder
Fair enough.
and louder. At this point, the chatter becomes much more clear. You hear one of them say, "You should probably take a break in the staff room. Once the shipment comes in, I'll head over to the operating wing." Then you hear the other one say, "Alright, no worries. I'll go into the infection lab. I'll start research there." And then you hear that they pass in front of the door and then turn down the hallway, and they're currently walking down the hallway away from you.
Right, let's do this. Let's grab them.
So you want to grab them? Okay.
We want to grab them.
Do we? Yeah. Okay. Do we?
I will
wanna
say as
try?
well, from looking at them, you do see that they are wearing long. The only way I can really describe their general appearance is Plague Doctor.
Okay.
You do
We
see
definitely know
that they are
where
wearing longer coats. One of them is wearing a wide brim hat, and has what seems to be, from what you could see, a plague mask that is kind of just hanging with the straps around the neck. And then the other one that is not wearing a hat, kind of has shorter dark hair, and is fully wearing the mask.
Okay.
But just a quick question: can you cast command through doorways, through closed doors?
It is a creature you can see, I think. So the
yeah,
answer would be
You
yes.
can speak a one-word command to a creature
Okay.
you can see within range.
But
Do
it's
it,
just, it's
Bill.
just just a one-word command. Okay.
Oh, is it?
Here's my question, real quick, before we do this. How many of these guys do we want to keep alive? Because I could end one of them very quickly.
Yeah, so I'm thinking we kill one of them and then try and. Wow, it depends. Yeah, we can maybe try and command one of them to come back to the room, and then just without killing anyone, we could do
Alright.
that. But
All right, Mr. Night Stalker, I have a proposition for you.
okay, yeah.
Out of character, have you ever played those video games where you're on a co-op mission with your NPC partner, and they're like, okay, you take out that guy, and then you take out the guy, and then the co-op partner kills the other guy at the same time? That's what I'm proposing. I'm proposing we do a tandem takedown.
Turn the keys at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, but the difference here is I'm going to kill my target, and you restrain the other one to pull back for interrogation. What do you think?
Yeah, we could, there's quite a narrow corridor, but yeah, we can try it, can't
Well,
we?
if they're walking side by side, that's perfect for us to go side by side as well. One target apiece.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll have to
All
be
good.
fast. You'll have to be sneaky. Fast and quiet.
Alright. So, what do you guys do? So they've just begun walking past you down the hallway, away from you.
All right, you want to do this?
Yeah,
Here
let's
we
do
go.
it.
This is what I've been waiting for.
Here we go. Okay. We'll go at the same time. So we'll try to match each other's speed. So we'll try to take them down at the same time. So it's a complete surprise for both of them.
So, are you trying to just burst out of the room and immediately grab them just as they pass, or are you gonna sneak and then grab them and pull them back?
we should sneak. So I think what we should do is we should the door was pretty quiet and it opens inward. So I think we could open the door inward and then quickly approach them and then just get them. I'm going to try to.
Alright,
I'm going
yeah.
to try to kill my target. So I'm pulling my dagger out, or one dagger out.
Yeah, and I
Um,
will try and just grab mine, essentially.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Drag
so
him back.
my intent is to like, well, as like grabs him, I'm also gonna grab my dude, but I'm gonna grab him with my dagger.
It's one way to grab him, I
Savage.
guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Both of you roll a stealth check for me.
All right, as.
If
Okay.
you muck this up.
Well, we'll see what happens, eh?
Alrighty, that is an 8 on the die, but I have 11 stealth, so that is a 19.
Yep. That'll work.
Yeah, and 11 plus 6, so 17.
Nice.
All right. So, both of you, you open the door. Without a sound, you begin quietly making your way towards them. They're walking at a like normal pace, like leisurely pace. So you guys have to kind of quickly make your way forward. They do not seem to be aware of your presence. All right. What do you do? Who's going for who?
So I'll be the way I'm imagining it is I'm on the right side, and then Az
Sure.
is on the left side.
So the one on the right is the one that isn't wearing a hat but is wearing a plague mask.
Hmm.
And then the one on the left is the one that has the mask down but the hat.
Okay.
All right.
I reckon
so-
kill the guy with the plague doctor. He seems to be the infection bloke, so try and take him out. Maybe the hat's probably got more authority.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
All right.
yeah, I'm on the right anyway. So yeah,
Sorted then.
gonna get him. I'm gonna sneak up like really quickly and attempt to just assassinate the dude.
All right. Well, roll to hit. You'll get advantage. You get sneak attack, and you are auto crit.
Yes, I do get the
So
auto
you just
crit.
have to be able to hit him.
You are going
Hit him and
to
crit. Yep.
all it.
It's a narrow corridor as well. Fuck me.
So my rolls weren't great, but I do have a pretty good to hit. So I rolled an 8 and a 12, but my plus attack modifier is for my weapon is a plus 9. So that is a 21.
That will definitely hit.
Because just so folks know what the plus 9 is, it's my dexterity is 5 plus the proficiency plus the weapon bonus, and my weapon is magical. So it has a plus.
yeah, because it's magical, it gets a +1.
Yep,
Yep.
no, that's a plus,
Fantastic.
a plus 9. Okay, so I do hit him with this.
Yeah.
And so for critting and sneak attack. Okay, so my sneak attack is 3d6. So I'll get my d6s. And then I have my weapon, which is 1d6 plus 4 plus the another 1d4 for its necrotic damage because it's magical.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so how are we doing crits again? Remind me. Are we just doing max damage, or are we doing double
So
damage?
max the possible damage you can get from rolling, plus a roll on top of that.
Okay,
you're
so
always guaranteed to do max plus dice roll.
okay, so
And then you
I'll
add
do
your
the
bonuses.
okay, I'll do the dice roll for both of them, and then we'll do max on top of that.
Sure.
This guy-
I'm pretty certain he will die, but it's always fun to roll these dice.
All right,
Yeah,
so
why
I'll
not?
steal that from you.
Yeah, exciting
Alright.
to see by how much he will die.
yeah,
Yes.
so on my 2d4s for my dagger, that's 7 plus
Mhm.
11 from the sneak attack on the rolls, so that's 18. Plus the damage modifier is a plus 6. So 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24. So that's 24, and then that's for the randomized element. And then the max damage is 6 times. Hold on, let me get a calculator.
Right.
For the
So you did.
He's dead, isn't he?
It was
He's dead.
24, I think, is what you rolled for the dice.
yeah. And then for max damage, the sneak attack is 3d6. So that is just 6 times 3.
Is 18.
Yeah, plus the max for that would
18.
be. Do I do max including the damage bonuses as well?
So it's yeah.
If
So you add your bonuses afterwards. So it's the dice. It's the max dice roll. Then you do another dice roll. Then you add bonuses. So-
okay, so I've already added the bonuses into that. So that's an additional 8. That's 26 plus the 24 is 50 damage.
50 damage. All right. How would you like to kill this gentleman?
Oh yeah, he's not gonna make it.
You over doubled his health. So
Okay, yeah,
I'll say
he's super. He's like
yeah.
he's like eviscerated.
He is,
Um,
yeah, he is a mist.
yeah, it's
Well,
gonna be
depends
it's
if you
gonna
want him to be a
Missed.
mist or not.
it's gonna be really quick and silent. So as and I both approach, Az is gonna do his thing, and for what I do is I'm just going to quickly reach around, grab him, and then slit his throat, like very quickly in one motion, like, and it's just gonna
All
cut
right.
as you're muted. But it's gonna cut like right through him.
All right. No worries. All right. As for yours, roll me a. This will be a grapple check.
Yeah.
D&D. Let me just make sure. So you will be rolling an athletics check, and then the target
Okay.
will roll a athletics or acrobatics. But I will give you advantage on this because he is not expecting it.
He's not having a clue, is he? He's just going to get pure rugby tackled. So I got a 19 and a 4, so it's definitely a 19 plus athletics of 6, so 25 on that athletics.
All right.
Damn.
Yep, that definitely beats him. So,
Yeah.
Honor, you watch from a distance as both Villain and Az sneak up behind these guys. Villain pounces first, and you see that it is a very quick grab and slice across the throat, and you watch as this doctor immediately goes limp into Villain's arms.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
With barely a sound. You hear only just a few drops of blood sort of coming out from the throat before he's dragged back. Azra, as you grab your doctor, you immediately cover his mouth and you hear as you begin dragging him back. He is taken aback so fast. He has no idea what's going on. And you both begin just dragging these people back towards the door in which Honor is waiting.
Yeah.
Awesome.
As the guy that we've taken alive is like kicking and screaming and brought into our room, I'm just like sitting in the corner, or like I guess on the the hatch, just with my box, just like waving. Just like, hey buddy.
I will say at this point, as you've just seen some bloodshed occur, Honor, the same burning feeling that you felt in your dream last night,
Ooh.
you feel it flare in excitement.
Right.
And for a split
Okay.
second, you feel off to the right, down the hallway in which these scientists or doctors came from, you feel this slight energy, and then you also feel further into the complex, sort of in the direction that the hallway leads, you feel another.
Okay. Okay.
Think of
Perfect.
that as you will.
I shall.
So when we drag the dudes back, Villain's going to take the corpse and then put him inside, leaning up against the inside wall next to the door, so like people who walk past wouldn't be able to see.
Wouldn't see it. Yep.
Yeah, you'd have to
No
actually
worries.
like walk in and then look to see.
Mm-hmm.
No worries.
Um,
All
Well,
right.
I've still got this bloke. Obviously, my hand is over his mouth, and I'm just gonna say to him, "Do not utter a word, otherwise that's gonna happen to you." And then obviously, just to try and I can roll an intimidation, perhaps.
Yeah,
perhaps
roll it.
as
I'll give
well.
you advantage on this. He is surrounded by 3 strangers, one of which just killed his friend. Or if he was friends with him. you don't
currently
know.
wiping off her dagger on the dead guy's clothes. Quickly, just gonna be like,
Fantastic. So I got an 18 and a 5.
pretty good.
So 18 plus. There's no intimidation, so it's just the charisma, which is
It'd be
0. So just an 18. Just an 18.
18.
That's
Alright.
probably enough, isn't it? In this
So
situation.
you watch as he, out of fear and the fact that you have kind of threatened him, he seems to comply. He stops struggling as much, but seems visibly shaken and uncertain as to what's happening. Have you taken your hand off of his mouth, or?
Yeah.
Let's close the door here. I'm gonna close the door.
Yeah.
Alright, so the door shuts. You hear him panting. And he kind of just looks at you all unknowing, eyes darting back and forth. What do you do?
Yeah. What's the first question we ask him then? Do you think? Where can we find?
Yeah, where is patient number or subject number, whatever it was, whatever you guys said it was.
Yeah,
1623.
like, hey, listen, we don't got time. Yeah, where do you know where this patient is?
Yeah.
1623. It'd be in the operating wing. I don't know the exact cell, but he's on the other side of the complex.
And what is? Do you know what this patient is? Do you know who they are? Why they're here or anything?
He's killed multiple of our staff. Dr. Mortimer was quite interested in him. Was taking up personal research.
Killed multiple staff.
Buddy, I think we got off on the wrong foot. I just try to level with him like a youth pastor.
I'm gonna play a song for you on my guitar to mellow things out.
Yeah.
This one's
So anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the operating wing. There's a hallway just outside this room, you know, where you were originally walking. Is that like the direction of the operating wing? Just for the layout of this place?
Yes. You go straight ahead down this hallway and follow the path. There's signs on the walls.
Okay. Is there anything to the right of us? There are a bunch of like prison cells. A lot of them seemed empty and dilapidated. Are they all empty? Is there something there? Could you tell me?
That's the specimen chambers. It's where we keep various creatures. We only have
Creatures.
one in at the moment. At the very end.
One. What is it?
It's he seems kind of hesitant to talk about it, but kind of realizes the predicament that he's in. It's large. It's it was found deep within the caverns. They brought it back here and began testing on it. It's extremely dangerous.
Is it from the pits? Is it something they brought from outside the pits? Or is it
was found in the pits.
Humanoid? Aberration? What is it?
Is it
whatever it is? If it is human, it was. If it was human, it's no longer human.
Okay, that's interesting.
I guess do we let the creature loose on the asylum?
No. No.
I have. Listen, I had a dream.
You had a dream. Okay.
Yeah,
Villain's gonna just say,
last night.
Of course you did.
Listen, so last night, this being is of importance to me, apparently as of last night. But now that I know, it is extremely important to me that I go check this thing out. So I don't know if we want to take a little detour.
I'm gonna
But
look at the doctor or the researcher and be like, all right, this thing, how far away is it?
It's not that far away. It's at the end of the hall, to the right. The specimen chambers. It's in the largest chamber at the very end.
What about these other chambers that we pass by? Are they just empty with blood and bones and guts in them, or
empty at the moment? We're expecting another shipment soon, but
right? Okay.
well, with like a renewed and really misplaced sense of confidence, I think Anna's just gonna stand up from the thing, and be like, "Well," and just like walk over to the door and open it. And yeah, my path, my predilection is to go right down to the end of the hall.
Okay.
So
Right to where the beast is. Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm gonna walk over and I'm gonna open the door.
Before we leave, I still want to get more information from this guy on where our target
Mm.
is exactly. So they said they're in the operating wing. Where exactly is the operating wing?
Just down the hall that I was walking before, and then he kind of looks over at his dead colleague. If you follow that, you'll get to it. It's a simple path. He'll be in one of the chambers over there. I'm sure of it.
That's where you were headed before we captured you, not where you came from. Is that right?
Well, I was meant to be going there, but I was going to stop off in our staff room.
And where's the staff room?
Just up ahead, and in this hallway that I was walking down. I was coming close to the door.
And is there anything else between us and the operating wing?
The infection research lab is towards the end of the hallway. Other than that, not particularly.
And then from where we are, where is the front entrance?
That's upstairs. You'll pass by the stairs going up to the ground floor if you were to head to the operating wing.
This guy's just gonna
Just
like
don't kill me.
fully pass out.
He's like panicking. He's like,
Yeah.
you can tell just from looking at him that he's assuming once he's done talking, he's dead. So he's just trying to string along as many words as he can to try and figure out some way to stay alive.
Villain is still
Is that-
deciding whether or not she wants to kill him.
Is there a way to the operating wing through where the beast is being kept? Is there anywhere through to the operating wing past that?
It sounded like it was kind of like a dead end, but
No, it's the beast is to the right in the specimen chambers, and to get to the operating wing, you'd have to go straight.
Okay.
There's no extra paths.
And then
Mhm.
one of my last
I
questions.
think the beast.
How many other
I think
researchers
the,
are in
oh
here?
yeah.
And how many guards are in here?
There's numerous amounts of us. The walls are lined with guards. There's a few guards that roam within the courtyard and inside itself, but it's mostly just us researchers.
Good to know. Do I think he's lying at all about any of the things that I asked him?
Roll an insight check.
Okay. That's not bad. That's 15. My insight's not great though. Yeah, it's a +0, so that's a 15.
15. You get the sense that he's most likely telling the truth, considering his predicament at the moment. You get the sense that he knows that if he were to lie and you were to find out, that's
Yeah.
even worse.
He's dead, man.
He is doing everything he can to stay alive at the
That's
moment.
Poor bloke just trying to go to the staff room.
He's just trying to
tea
get
break.
like a
Trying
bagel
to
or
get to his
something.
break.
Yeah, just like
yeah, literally
I mean,
just
you
trying
don't know
to
what
like,
he's done. He could be a horrible person, you know.
I mean, they're doing some
he could be a
stuff.
horrible
though.
person. He could also just like have Lunchables in the staff fridge that he wanted to get to.
He's just like, I want to go get my
Oh.
bagel. It, today's special's an everything bagel. I don't really know, get everything bagel. Like, but also we
Oh,
have seen the
brilliant.
cells, right? We know that they're doing some,
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
messed up.
Well,
shit
you know
here.
that those cells that you've seen were specimen chambers, so for some creatures, probably
Yeah.
not human, but you know.
Well, our target is in the operating wings, which is probably not great either. Oh, I guess we should ask on our target. How alive is our target? Like, what's their state?
Well, his status is alive at the moment, from last I read.
At the
I
moment.
haven't seen him for a while. I don't want to see him.
When you say he's alive at the moment, do they capture these people and then kill them, or do they just experiment on them until they just die, or is they plan to kill him at all?
It's very important research. Sometimes, unfortunately, subjects die, but it's not our intention, for sure.
Okay.
For the betterment of science.
So-
um,
It's not really my concern, nor is it my mission, but why are they researching and experimenting on this particular individual, and how were they captured to begin with?
I mean, the exact nature of their capture, I'm not certain of, but Dr. Crest Mortimer has taken great interest in him. Says there's a lot of potential. He has a unique gift. He has the ability to weave Aether.
And this Dr.
Mhm.
Mortimer,
Right.
if we wanted to, where could we find him?
He is not in the Asylum at the moment. He's currently out on an excursion. I'm not certain when he's coming back.
All right.
Okay. And one last thing as well. Do you know of any young boys or brothers that could have been put into this facility anywhere?
Well, I mean, we have quite a number of subjects that will come through our doors, of all genders and ages. I think there is a young child at the moment that we are taking care of.
Just one.
But yes, I think about 6 years old.
Okay.
I'm gonna give Azra a look, and the look is not saying it, but the look is interested in young boys, huh? Like that's because she doesn't know. She doesn't know anything about him. All she knows is
Yeah.
he asked about two young boys.
I know how it looks, villain, but I'm looking for my brothers who have been kidnapped, and this is one of the only places in the pits I have not searched. So I need to ask this guy while we've got him, and he's telling us everything.
How old are your brothers?
I'm
Around about that age, yeah. Well, one's 6 and one's 10, if I remember my backstory correctly, but I don't remember.
Okay.
if I remember my brothers correctly.
If I remember them correctly. It's been a while since they've gone missing. Okay, cool.
It's been
And where
quite
were
a
they?
few years since they went missing, right?
Yeah.
Like 4 years.
Yeah. Where would they be kept? Where would this person be kept if that was? Were they in the same sort of area as the subjects we're looking to find?
Yes, all of our human subjects are generally kept in the operating wing.
All of your human subjects.
All right.
How many do you currently have?
At least a couple. I don't quite remember off the top of my head how many we have, but not all of our cells are full, and we have an amount.
Okay. Well, I'm out of questions. I'm gonna look.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look to Azra, who's holding the guy. The look is basically blackout or red out. What do you want to do with this guy?
Let's chuck him in the sewer, I reckon.
What if I just
Open
what if
the
I just
hatch and chuck
command him
in.
to sleep?
He would spend his next 6 seconds, or next action essentially 6 seconds, attempting to do the thing you told him to do. So he would
Attempting
lay
to
down-
fall asleep.
he would lay down, close his eyes for 6 seconds, and then be like, "Oh, I don't want to do this," and then probably wake up.
Yeah. I think
that's fair.
either way we should knock him out, because like if we just dump him in the sewers, he could just like go through the sewers to the front gate and be like, "Hey, break in," you know. So we should either like I said, blackout or red out.
Yeah.
He looks very
I'm
nervous
very
at you guys.
I'm very single-minded and still just like feeling the doorknob. I'm like, I got a plan.
Making
I gotta go.
Feed him to the beast.
Oh, beat him.
You see his eyes widen incredibly.
We're not cruel.
No,
Try to-
I'm messing around.
Try to
I mean, it
kill
is
him.
the pits, you know.
Just try to kill him as quickly as possible.
Just knock him out, I reckon. Get your mace over the back of his head, Honor.
Yeah, let's just knock him out. I'm gonna donk him on the head.
All right, so you gonna swing and smack him on the head?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm assuming non-lethal.
As non-lethal as as I can. Yeah.
All right, so you guys watch as Honor sort of reaches forward and with a slight swing, almost like you'd see in cartoons like Tom and Jerry, just
Bonk.
smack on the head, and he is out like a light. You watch as he slumps to the ground.
Brilliant.
This is a rough day at the office. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Once again, renewed vigor and a solid idea of something that I have to do that I am being drawn to. I go and I just rip open the door. I'm like, I'm going this way.
All right.
Okay.
What do you guys do?
So are you heading towards a beast, Bill?
Yes. Yes. Very
Well,
much so.
we need to accompany Bill then, because
Yeah, that's not our mission. Villain does not like this. She just mutters under her breath. It's like, it better be quick. Yeah.
this man has got a calling to that beast room. So
I'm very, very nervously clutching the box, but with like excitement, nervous excitement. I'm like, yeah.
can't be that bad if he's excited about it, surely.
Villain is very wary of all of this.
Yeah.
Not trusting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anyway,
well after we've gone to the beast room, we can go to the we'll continue with our mission, right?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course. Yeah.
All right.
So-
So you guys exit the room and immediately make a right and start heading down this long hallway, which you can now see at the very end of the hallway. There is a Yes.
I want to do one quick thing before we go,
Mm.
just to doubly sure, because I don't want this guy to come back and screw us over. I'm not gonna kill him, but I would like to check both bodies for keys, and then either way, if I find a key or not, I want to lock the door behind us. So as we close the
Okay.
door, I would like to lock it either by doing my sleight of hand with my thieves tools, or
Thieves
locking
tools
it.
to relock it.
And so this guy, even if he wakes up before we're done, he can't get out, unless he wants to go through the sewers, I guess.
All right, no worries. So, having a look over this individual, you find a few syringes.
Okay.
They don't seem to have anything in them.
Hmm.
You find a somewhat ornate key.
Take it.
Actually,
Take the key.
it's a smaller key. It doesn't look like it would fit this door, but it is a smaller key.
Okay.
And that's pretty much what you find on him, other than like he's just personal equipment.
How about the dead guy?
Dead guy, pretty much same thing, but no key.
Okay, I'll take the key, and I'll do what I said. I'll close the door, lock it behind. I don't think there's any way to... Wait, is there a way to lock the latch too, or is that not lockable? To the sewer.
It's
the
not
sewer latch.
lockable. You can shut it and like turn the wheel to like lock it, or per se lock it. But anyone
Mhm.
could just like turn it and unlock it per se.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. I'll still lock the door behind us.
Sure.
Yeah.
Easy.
Cool.
All right. So, down the end of this hallway of the specimen chambers, which you now know, you do see a large, heavy, it seems to be reinforced metal door at the very end that has a very similar locking or closing system as the hatch that you had just come out of. But on the door
Holy
itself.
hell.
All right, what do you do? So, Honor, I'm assuming you're
All right.
beelining straight for that door.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the door. I'm gonna stop right in front of it,
Sure.
and I'm gonna whisper to the box. I'm gonna say, "Is this it?"
You feel once again almost like an invisible hand grab your hand and place it onto the wheel to unlock the door.
No, what are you doing?
It's good enough for me.
Is there a way? Is there a window or something? A way to see what's inside, or is it just completely?
In this one, there is no window.
How big is the room that
Yeah,
we're standing in currently? Is it like a big square room with like this
At
at
the
the
Just a
end?
moment-
corridor, isn't it?
So it's just a corridor that ends in this sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So if this beast comes charging out, we've got nowhere to go, essentially.
Well, it's gonna go through
We shall
Anna.
see.
That's what it's gonna do.
Depends what's behind the door.
Right. Honor, if you
ever the
get,
realist.
if you open this door, you're going to stand there with your shield drawn, just in case. Deal?
Okay.
Villain is mentally planning out where she's going to bail to when this goes south.
So
She did lock
so
the
I
door to
have
the other
my-
place, but there's the other path that we can go down the hallway.
I have my box. I have like I think I mentioned I have like a little chainmail sort of like pouch that I can keep the box in so that it's on me, but I'm not holding it. I'm gonna do that. Put that in there, and then I'm gonna start to sort of at least try to move the wheel to get the door to unlock.
All right. It's a little tough, but it does budge. And as you turn the wheel, you hear as the locking system on either side begins to unlock. And the
I'm
door
going to draw
is
my
unlocked.
I'm going to draw my bow at this point.
So like, Villain wants to stop him, but Kellen wants Bill to do his thing. So Villain will stand there, and like I said, she's gonna plan her escape if this goes poorly.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So, you open the door? All right.
Yes.
So, you open the
Yes, I
door.
do.
This one opens outwards. And as you pull open the door, it's a fairly heavy door, reinforced. And inside, you find
Knives out.
a desk and a chair. It's a small room. And directly across from where you are standing is another door, also reinforced.
Okay.
This one does have a window. But you see there is almost like a locker or a wardrobe of some sort off to the right, and the desk is off to the left.
Hmm.
Can we see it? Is there anything on the desk?
There is some parchment and quill and ink. That's all you really see.
I'm gonna make a beeline for the window specifically.
All right. Having looked through the window, you can see through the window, and almost like 5 feet away from the door is another door that's also heavily reinforced with a window in that too. And then past that, you see that there is darkness. However, you have dark vision. It is a little bit hard due to the glare from the lights that are lighting up both the room you're in and the room directly in front of you. This very small room, almost like an airlock. But past, you see a large shadowed mass as big as a bear, twice as big as a bear.
Oh, God.
Something is seemingly slumbering on the floor of this chamber, and you can just sort of barely make it out. It's hard to get a good angle on it.
There's a large difference between Anna's previous sort of demeanor and manner and how he is now. Saying that overtly. He was not a confident man previously, but it seems like something has sort of switched, and this is exactly what he wants to do. So yeah, I think probably the best thing to do and what makes the most sense is to just check out the wardrobe, see what's going on there. I think I have an idea of what's going to be in there, but yeah, I'd like to check that out first.
Sure. So having a look, this is a series of different like aprons and like boots and things that you would expect in like almost like a butcher's place to keep yourself clean whenever you're like cutting meats or something like that, to avoid spills. It's basically a series of gloves, more of these masks. Yeah, that's essentially what you see.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna move to start opening the next door.
All right.
I'm just going.
So, yes.
I'm
Anything
gonna-
else you guys want to do?
I'm gonna ask Anna very sternly,
It was.
why are you here?
I am here because I am meant to be here.
Why are you meant to be here?
I am here because I am meant to be here.
I
just I repeat it and I hold and I my box is still in here, so I'm just gonna pat the box. I am here because I am meant to be here.
Villain doesn't like this.
Would you, and all of a sudden sort of gets this somber look. Start to hear maybe a rattle, a very slight rattle, and I just look towards the both of you and say, "Would you like to stop me?"
I don't think what lies beyond these 3 heavily reinforced doors is anything that will help us accomplish our mission, which is the reason that we are here. And so I ask you, why are you here?
Noted. Taken under consideration. And I start to open the door.
No.
All right. So once again, the turning and the noise as the gears undo these large metal bolts that are holding this door, and this one opens towards you. And you open it up, and in front of you, as you had seen before, is this very small, no bigger than 5x5 room, and then another door directly in front.
All right, I'm gonna turn to Azra,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say, this is a detour, but I think one way or another it might end pretty quickly. So, the way I see it, you and I have 2 options. There are multiple doors here, so we could let him go in and close the door behind him, so we are not murdered by whatever the foul beast rests in the further chamber. Ona, before you proceed, I'm gonna hold out my hand. Regardless of what you do, give me the contract cards.
I take them out of the box. I reach in, take them out of the box, and very willingly hand them to you.
I take them.
No hesitation whatsoever.
I take them. I put them into. She'll pull out a little thing that looks like a little, no, not a wallet, but kind of like a little claspy thing. She's gonna just put them in there, close the little claspy thing, and then put it back in her sash. And she's going to say to him, far be it for me to stop you from doing what you have to do. I'm here to do what I have to do, and that's to fulfill this contract. She's gonna take some steps back. I'm not gonna close the door on you right now. But if worst comes to worst, I will close the door to protect myself. I'm gonna take some steps back.
I'm here because I'm searching the only place in the pits which I haven't searched yet. So I'm happy to see what's behind each door, just to make sure that I've searched it. So I'm happy to see what's on the other side of that door. But if something comes bowling out, that's when we get out of here. if there's something,
Bill will be like,
yeah.
You're my guest. She's just gonna let you go in.
Yeah, we'll just see.
Because
as both of you are outlining this, I'm just sort of nodding and then also giving you a look of are we done here?
Yep. So what I'm gonna do? So I assume there's the room here, and then here's the entrance, and then here's another little, or maybe it could be here. I don't remember exactly the the entrance to this kind of like short corridor. I assume it's like short corridor with a heavy door here, and then like the room containing the creature, right?
Yeah, so basically there's the room that the creature's in, and then I guess if you're looking at the map, I guess like northways or whatever. So the room's there, then you have a small room here, then you have the bigger room, which you're currently in, and then the hallway down there.
Okay, so Villain is going to be in the other room looking in. So like she's gonna be looking through the opened door at Anna, who is about to open up the second door. I'm not gonna stop him, but if worst comes to worst, I will close this door and then run out and then close the second door. So
All right.
You're just absolutely preparing for the worst.
Villain has seen some stuff. She's been around a little bit. There's a reason she's not dead. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
All right. So
yeah.
you've now opened the door to this, I guess, airlock. What do you do?
So the door is open. I'm just in sort of the smaller room with the final door.
Yes.
I would like to sit down on the floor, cross-legged, put my box sort of in front of me, and just open the lid and set it to the side.
Oh, okay.
And
does
I'm
anyone
going to
else like see this? I guess see the inside of the box.
I guess not from the inside of the box, no, because I think the way that I'm sitting, unless
You're in
they're
front
like
of it.
peering right over my shoulder, yeah, I'm in front of I'm in front of the box, so they wouldn't be able to see sort of over me, but they can hear that like the box opens and I set the lid on the ground.
All right.
And I would like to sort of call upon my friendo.
Okay.
My best friendo.
So,
What the hell is going on here?
are any of you trying to get a glimpse at what's going on? In front of
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
would definitely be like looking.
All right.
It's an interesting balance for you to play, because that means you have to get close to whatever's going on.
not super close. Not super close. So
You're
I
just,
guess
like, peeking. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm never gonna. I say never, but I'm currently not gonna enter that room that has the other thing in it. I'm gonna be maybe ease up into the corridor, but like the airlock, I guess. But I'm not entering the second room.
Okay. As they peer over, whether knowingly or unknowingly to you, Honor, what do they see inside this box?
What they see currently is the lining of the box is sort of like a tattered velvet type deal. It looks like it would be sort of something that you would keep jewelry in, or something precious to you, or like an heirloom sort of deal. It is paradoxically deep. It is like a TARDIS, where it's not a very large object, but the middle of it is so black that it appears to be an abyss. And there are some swirls of sort of like smoky, like dark purplish, grayish smoke that are currently emanating from the box.
Oh God.
And you can just sort of hear me say, like, relatively quietly, I have brought you. And yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that my buddy's got some room to breathe with
Sure.
the subject.
So the thing.
Holy
that is
hell, he's feeding
inside,
it.
This is a gem of some sort, a trinket. What would you call it?
Sorry, which one?
Inside your box, is there like actually anything in the box, or is it just an empty box? Well,
It is
empty.
Yeah. That's a good question. How did I decide that I had this previously?
I believe it was
so it'd be
it's a trinket of some sort. If I remember
yeah.
correctly,
There's a
but-
trinket. I think I wrote it down. If I didn't write it down, then that's fine, because I know the general concept of it. I take out from this, again, paradoxically deep box. You can sort of if you're looking that deep, you can sort of see my hand go in farther than it looks like it should. And I pull out just like a bundle of these like sort of small and fragile looking bones that are sort of tied together with string. And I just sort of place them out in front of me as well as sort of like maybe an offering. Maybe that's the thing. Who's to say?
All right.
I'm just
So-
absolutely mortified at this point, just like watching on as this Solanian dude is just, pulling bones out of an abyssal box.
Yeah.
You watch.
I'm just like,
Holy.
what have we got ourselves into?
So, as Honor sits there and places these small, tiny bones out in front, something odd happens that you've never seen before. You can see that these bones begin vibrating, and then you see, are they touching the ground? And you see as they begin floating very slowly upwards and up and up. And you begin to see wisps of like black, purplish, very dark purplish smoke begin to emanate from them. It's at this point that you hear a very guttural growl of some sort. So those of you standing who can see through the window, with what little light is peering through, you see a shape inside move. And as the bones float up towards the line of sight between what you guys as you're trying to look through this reinforced glass window in this door, as the bones rise up into view, immediately you hear this loud, incredible smashing sound as whatever is inside the room has just smashed against the door, and you feel the room around you shake. This loud slam. And then you hear it again. Whatever is in this room is trying to break through, maybe? As these bones begin floating and glowing.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sitting on the ground, sort of in like an sort of elevated prayer, cross-legged. And that's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm not reacting to this.
Alright. You watch. Is there anything else that you guys wish to do, Villain, Azra?
I'm just watching in awe of this. I'm still just
You are
Assuming that-
welcome to close the doors behind me.
If anything, the beast will be a distraction. If we need an exit, there will be a big distraction. We'll see what's coming through this
Well.
door, but
Yeah. Assuming we're alive.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna step back out of the little airlock, and I'm gonna be on the other side of the other door now. It's open
Sure.
still. I'm not gonna close it, but I'm on the other side of the door now. In the room that had the desk and the wardrobe.
Alright.
Yep.
So,
Still looking down, but yeah.
you continue to hear these loud smashing noises. You hear this guttural roar as this thing is pounding furiously on the door. And then you hear a crack. And you see that the glass on this door begins to crack. And as it continues to pound, smashing harder and harder, you watch as the crack that started small begins to spread like a spider web. Before eventually, you hear this shatter. And through this small hole in the door, you see a strange, mutated mass of flesh, almost like a tentacle, begin to reach through the door and try and grab the bits of bone that you see in front of you. Do you guys want to do anything as this happens? At any point, if you want to interject, by all means.
The way Villain sees it is this is gonna happen, and if it puts herself in danger, she's closing this door. And then probably booking it and closing the first door. So it's like, well, yeah. Where's Azra, by the way?
I'm looking into where Bill is essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Are you
Yeah.
in the desk room with me, or are you in the airlock with Bill?
I'm slightly further ahead. Yeah, I'm in the airlock bit.
Okay.
Just looking in.
All right.
All right. You watch.
Which is very surprising, considering all the stuff that's going on right now. Very brave.
This is terrifying to both Villain and Azra. This large, incredible beast of some kind, a mutated mass, if you will. Not quite like the card, but kind of similar.
Yeah, I was going to say
begins-
Kel absolutely will.
Oh, I know that
Like-
one.
From what you can see of this creature, it looks like it belongs on a Shadow Brood card.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And you see as this tentacle, like a pendant, continues to reach through the door. You hear a loud roar as suddenly you see bits of bone begin to almost stick out from the tentacle, jutting out, almost like teeth of some sort. And you watch as they begin to shoot towards the bones that were hovering in the air. And you watch as they all begin to coalesce into more of a ball of bones, if you will. These strange, weird bones.
Old bone ball.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see the tentacle go limp. And the creature stops. And you watch as it retreats its appendage. And then you see as it's what could only be described as a face peers through the broken hole in the door. And you see kind of a humanoid face. It's really hard to tell. If this was once human, it is a far cry from what it once was. You see this weird beast-like face, this massive maw that almost goes sideways down what you would consider a face, and a numerous amount of eyes all begin looking around the room at everyone. You watch as it then seems to pull back from the door. And then nothing. You watch as the bones begin to float back down towards the box before eventually landing in the box. And you watch as the... Yes, like that with the battery. And you watch as the box itself snaps shut. And that's it.
I, from my sort of like analytic stance, I lower my hands, grab the box, put it back in the bag, sort of stand myself up, sort of brush off I guess pants, but I'm still wearing a poncho, so like the back of the poncho. And I just about face, and I'm like, all right, let's go.
What was that?
Okay. Yeah, Villain is just gonna be like, okay, let's go. She doesn't know what the hell that was, but we're not dead.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So I'll I can very obviously see that they're both confused, and to me that's surprising because I'm like, why would you be confused? but yeah, I'll just be like, okay. So I had a dream last night, and I basically saw Southmaw as it was in sort of the demonastery sense. Bear with me. I saw these two sort of bundles of energy that
Two
were
bundles of
placed at
energy.
separate points.
Hmm.
2 bundles of energy. And this is where it gets surprising. 2 bundles of energy. This was one of them.
Hmm.
I had a need to go and see. I had to bring my box, my friend here. I had to bring them here. That was just a non-negotiable. I had to do that. And yeah, now that we've done that, we can go do whatever it was you guys wanted to do. That's totally fine by me.
Well, the mission. I have one question, and this is gonna cut
the mission.
straight to the point. Does your ball of bones make you stronger?
It doesn't not make me stronger.
All right, that's good enough for me. All right, let's go. Basically, villain is like, does this jeopardize our mission at all? It might make him actually more useful. So if that's the case, then yeah, sure.
All right.
Well, he seemed to have control over the tentacled thing that came flying through the door at some stage, so that's okay with me. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
All right. So
All right,
you
all right,
leave
all right.
the
Then.
airlock, and then the small little room off to the side of the airlock. Do you shut the doors at all?
Just leave it open for it to wreak havoc.
I'm gonna close. I'm gonna close.
I think we should close the doors.
I'm gonna close the doors.
Just to give him privacy, you know?
Villain's gonna close the doors. Also, she likes to keep things a little bit more wrapped up, I guess.
Yeah, and from a sort of a stealth standpoint, it would be weird if they were open. Although, also from a stealth standpoint, there was all that it trying to break the door down, but that's neither here nor there.
They'll find that out when they open up all of the doors. So let's close them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, on our way back through the corridor where we entered, the sewer access, I'm gonna just kind of double check to make sure that dude is still knocked out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to pick the lock again?
I mean, I assume it should be easy for me to unlock and relock since I locked it myself.
Yeah. I mean, fairly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely something you can do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that real quick and just.
That will do it for this part of Escape from Southmaw. Honestly thought it would be done this session, but it seems the guys really like exploring, and I can't blame them. I left a lot of juicy bits. So yeah, tune in next time for part 3. As of the recording of this, part 1 is almost done, so that should be up shortly, but you won't know about that until this goes live, which will be sometime after that.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so... But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know what you think of the session so far. I think we've really started to hit the stride of the story here, and yeah, some very juicy things coming up. So until next time, we will catch you all later.
Bye.
Cheers.